Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell. You'll get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And when I'm not asking Bruce, hey, how big was Batista's? Well, you know. One of the things I like to do is help people save money. And if you're watching this video right now and you're in a 30-year loan, man, you're overpaying your single biggest bill and you may not even realize it. I want you to do a little experiment for me. Take your calculator out, multiply your monthly house payment by 360 payments. That's how many payments there are in a 30-year loan. That big scary number, that's your total of payments. You're looking at that number? You know you can do better. Keep more of your own money right now and go to savewithconrad.com. Or maybe you've got credit card debt. Man, it's not a matter of if I can save you money with that. Your average interest rate on a credit card is more than 20%. And by the way, all the interest you pay on those credit cards, it's not tax deductible. Whereas the mortgage interest, well, that is tax deductible. So if you owe this debt, it's up to you how to pay it back. Doesn't it make sense to get the cheapest rate possible and the greatest tax deduction possible? Find out how much money you can save right now for free at savewithconrad.com. You don't need perfect credit. Even scores in the 500s can be approved, and it's no cost out of pocket. But maybe best of all, we're licensed in more than 40 states. We can help more families than ever before. But how much can we save you? Find out right now for free with a quick quote from savewithconrad.com.
What happened when?
WHW Monday!
Jim Crockett First Arcade, 605 NWA. TV title, Cajun Omni, the Bunkhouse Stampede. Flair and Horseman, Garvin, Bogey, Magnum, Dusty, Express Tag Team. Turner, Bonnet, Mid-South Joint World Championship Wrestling.
Talking about the great years of World Championship Wrestling, the NWA, and Jim Crockett Promotions.
Tony and Friends North, they win. Look, Schiavone's back again. World title split off, center stage, Bischoff. Disney, Hogan, and Nitro. New World Order and the Crow. Thunder, Russo, Arquette, Champ, Vinnie Mac, simulcast. Tony's back with Conrad, not your classy podcast. Watch along, try not to laugh. Lowest rules can't pass. This wasn't the initial plan. Tom Zigg's a good-looking man. Klondike Bill, make a chair. Tommy, you come over here.
What happened when?
WHW Monday! And now, let's go to the ring. And here's your co-host. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson.
Hey everyone, it's your old pal, and I stress old, Tony Schiavone. Thanks for listening to our podcast. I can't believe we are getting ready to bring you episode number 200, and that's going to be coming up in a couple of weeks. Since 2017, this has been a wild ride for me, as you probably know. Back in wrestling, thanks to you, thanks to Conrad Thompson, thanks to Tony Khan, to Cody, to the Bucks, Kenny Omega, everyone associated with AEW, everyone associated with WHW, What Happened When. Never thought it would come to this, but I'm back, and I have you to thank most of all. Over the past 190 plus episodes of What Happened When, we have touched on a variety of subjects. Most of them wrestling, many of them about personal hygiene, about, I don't know, sex at times. Someone my age, as you know, doesn't really deal with that anymore. But we thought we would go back here and take a look at some of our better moments, some of our most requested moments on What Happened When. And we got something special for you here on What Happened When. We're going to go back and take a look at some of my special moments with Conrad on AdFreeShows. So you're going to get a double best of, call it the best of Tony and Conrad. A double best of, not only from What Happened When, but from AdFreeShows as well. As we move on to a brand new year, and who cannot wait until 2020 is finally fucking over. As we move into a brand new year, we'll be embarking on, well, let's count them up together. 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. We'll be embarking on our 5th year of doing this podcast. 5 years of doing this podcast, What Happened When. It's, again, back to my original point, it's been a great ride. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoy the best of some of the things that you've heard here before on What Happened When. Some of the things you haven't, that's just been heard over on AdFreeShows. Ready? Let's go back and enjoy some of the best of here on What Happened When. Take it away.
From the archives of What Happened When, Tony talks about Steve Mongo McMichaels.
In late June, Bischoff appears on the Chet Kopic show and wouldn't confirm that WCW would have a show on TNT, but suggested that why wouldn't WCW try it if they were offered a primetime slot. And when Monday was discussed, Bischoff just played it off like Raw being on Monday was purely coincidental. By the second week of July, the working name for the show was Wrestling Nitro, and the plan was to debut on September 4th in Miami. Of course, that didn't happen. We'll get into that. In my research, I learned that Nancy Sullivan, known to us wrestling fans as Woman, auditioned for an announcing gig. Tony, before we get to Mongo, do you remember Nancy auditioning here, or if anyone else was considered for that three-man booth that eventually became Bischoff, Heenan, and Mongo?
No, I don't. I don't remember that at all. As a matter of fact, I remember being told by Eric that they were going to use Steve McMichael. Being told by Eric, not being told that we're considering McMichael or we're considering this person. He told me that he would be working with McMichael and Heenan. So that was probably right at the end of all the thought process there.
So the backstory on Mongo McMichael, for those of you who aren't familiar, is he was a professional football player for the Chicago Bears, and a damn good one at that. He and his Bears had a Super Bowl run, and they became arguably the most marketed team in history up to that point. They even did a rap called the Super Bowl Shuffle that everyone copied, including the AWA with their Wrestle Rock Rumble. Anyway, he has some name value, and after football, he starts working doing some sports talk radio in Chicago, and even wins an Emmy for his work with the Chicago Bears postgame show in '94. Tony, you're in that business today. How prestigious is that award?
An Emmy?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a tremendous award. It really is. And there, you think about all the people who've worked in television, not that many people have one. But Mongo was a tough guy, and I think he brought what Eric wanted, some legitimacy to the broadcast booth.
Yeah, he's looking to load up as much crossover and mainstream and wrestling buzz and just every single competitive advantage he can give his product to compete with Raw. And
no question. Somehow
Mongo becomes the guy for WCW, and he's an interesting character to say the least. At their August Clash of the Champions, they tease him as an Emmy Award-winning broadcaster before having him announce at the press conference that they hold that he will indeed be a commentator on the show. And I'm curious about this because, you know, everything is looked through wrestling glasses here.
Yeah.
He's got the dark glasses. He's got the leather jacket with the fringe on it. He's got the huge Super Bowl ring. He's got a tiny dog in a costume. He's like every cliche going for himself. He's basically like a bigger version of a '94 DDP. How does this Steve McMichael signing come about? It feels like WCW is trying to create their own Jesse the Body Ventura, if you will, from the mainstream aspect, the glasses, the jacket, all that.
Yeah, there's no question they are. They want a guy who is very identifiable. And I don't know where the freaking dog came in, but as an owner of a Chihuahua myself, who is my good friend. Actually, he's my only friend now in life. I look back on it and go, wow, that's pretty cool. That is really cool. Back then, I looked back on it and said, what the fuck is that dog doing with it? But they were looking for their own character. You're right, like Jesse the Body Ventura, to say he was a 94 version of Diamond Dallas Page. Is that your line? Did you come up with that?
Yeah, I came up with that.
All right.
You don't want to.
Cool.
Thank you. Who was working with Steve to prepare him for this? Because he's never called professional wrestling.
Eric was.
Yeah, that explains it.
Yeah.
What are you?
Again, I was
not cool enough.
Kind of on the outside of all this. So,
what were your initial thoughts on Steve as a person and as a performer when you met him?
I thought he was a great person. I was excited to meet him because of course, being a football fan, just a great guy who would do anything. He obviously had an ego because he was a big star.
Sure.
But it wasn't an overbearing ego. He was willing to do whatever it would take to make things work. And let's face it. I love Mongo. I haven't really talked to him since then. I know he's done a lot of things since we went down. But what did he bring to WCW?
Deborah McMichael.
Exactly.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
So you can't fault him at all for being around.
Was there a plan all along to ease him into becoming a wrestler, or when do you remember that becoming a topic of conversation?
I don't remember when it became a topic, but I think I think it was a natural progression, and I think he really wanted to do that. So I don't know the exact time when that happened.
Next week, tune into instead of What Happened When, I Don't Remember When, featuring Tony Schiavone.
Yeah. Okay. How about a session of Go Fuck Yourself, Conrad? I'm doing the best I can. How about that? How about that, you Alabama fucking redneck?
So now that we have our announced team,
hit me with a roll tide. Go ahead, hit it.
Roll Tide.
Well, go ahead. Hit me with a roll tide. Woo-ha! Watch out.
That's hilarious.
All right.
Hey, what's your wife doing? Let's get her in here. She can't do any fucking worse at this than you are right now.
Okay. She's actually, it's right now. It's as we record this, it's about 1 o'clock. She didn't wake up till 3 p.m. because she's hungover. She drinks all night.
Oh, probably from being married to you.
Wow. Here we go. Back and forth we go. Can't get any worse than this. Okay.
So now we have our announce team lined up. Thank God Tony Schiavone's not on it.
From AdFreeShows.com, Conrad and Tony cover WrestleMania 8.
I just know sometimes it's harder to tell a story with two baby faces.
Yeah, sure it is. Of course it is. Unless one, during the course of the show or during the course of the match, starts turning heel and does things like that, slap in the face.
Do you ever slap at the base?
Slap at the base? Nope.
I
Never did. But yeah, I agree with that. I think it's hard when two baby faces are going at it. Now they're starting to mix it up a little bit more. Is it just me or the fans not really buying this either?
Well, you got to appreciate Bret Hart is not a star to them just yet.
Okay.
I mean, he had his big win at SummerSlam 91 for the IC title, but he was not yet considered like the guy. And that's going to change later this year. You know, I think probably 6 months later, he would beat Ric Flair to be world champ, and, you know, he's off to the races. But at this point, he's still a middle of the card guy. And Piper hadn't been the most consistent either.
By the way, if you're following along with us, first of all, thank you for being with us on Patreon. We're at 47, 41, 42, 43, 44, a couple seconds off wouldn't hurt you, thereabouts. And you see Piper helping Bret Hart back into the ring. Little babyface action. And what'd you think of, I know it was his color and it set him apart from people, but did you like the pink?
I loved it.
Did you really?
Oh man. Who doesn't love pink?
Well, look, to me, it just didn't work for, there you go. A little cheap shot that time from Piper, turning heel on him in the middle of the match.
By the way, we should mention when it came to the Wrestling Observer Reader poll, the best match poll, number 1, Flair and Savage. Number 2, Piper Hart. And there's not another match mentioned.
Whoa.
Yeah. So people really, really like this one. It got 3.5 stars in the Observer. Meltzer would say really good. They did an excellent job of getting their personalities over without turning on either one. Bret bled a lot, which may have been accidental, but it did add a lot of drama to the match. The match build before the ref bump. Piper clotheslined Hart to the floor and gave him a good shot to the ring steps. Piper then brought the ring bell to the ring and paused forever, deciding whether or not to hit Hart, but eventually didn't, keeping him a strong babyface in the eventual defeat. Piper then put on the sleeper. Hart kicked off the turnbuckle and fell backwards onto Piper for the pin. 3.5 stars. Really creative finish. We would see Bret use this one. I think you guys have even used this one. Yeah. On Dynamite. The finish to this one was used on Dynamite, but I think you and I watched part of Survivor Series 96 where Bret came back against Steve Austin. And that was in November of 96. And he used the same finish for that one too. So pretty creative finish. By the way, Bret would write about this blood in his book. saying that in this era, blading was prohibited, and they felt they needed it. These two guys did. So they went into business for themselves and bladed, but then forever claimed it was accidental, like it was the hard way.
Right.
To the goddamn forehead. And so anyway, you're going to see Rick bleed later, but it's not nearly as subtle. Rick got caught and Rick got fined. They tried to find these guys, and they both denied it and said it was total hard way, total accident. Vince bought it. They didn't have a fine.
Wow. Double standard from the boss.
Well, because Ric Flair, I can't believe this is real, was the honest one in this scenario. Because Brett totally bladed here. He just lied about it.
Yeah.
And if there was Cooter involved, I'm sure Rick would have been much more comfortable lying.
Well, was that Brett sticking the blade back down in his trunks? Or the tights that time? Did you notice that? Right.
Well,
right
he bladed, Tony. I just explained that. Oh, look at that suplex. I think if you're going to do a suplex, it ought to be a snap suplex. By the way,
give me your time code. I think I'm off a little bit.
I'm up your butt at 52, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. By the way, the next day you guys were in Macon, Georgia at the Coliseum with 3,000 folks there.
That's what about, well, look at this.
And the day after that, you were in Knoxville and you had 700 people.
Jesus.
And the day after that, you were in Murfreesboro and you had 1,000 people. The day after that, you were in Chattanooga and you had 1,900 people. And then the Omni with 4,300. And then Center Stage with 680. And then on the 17th, so, 12 days after this, you actually had a 10,000 person crowd in Augusta. How about that? 10,000 people in Augusta. Do you think you could do that?
No.
Well,
that had to be.
You couldn't.
Was that
You couldn't. You only had 3,000 paid, you rat soup eating motherfucker. You
I
had to give away
I had a feeling that was that. Yeah.
Whoop, whoop.
Can't fucking fool me, man. I knew what we were back then.
A shit sandwich.
Boy, were we ever.
And meanwhile, you had a chance to be on the call here. I mean, you were goddamn working for this company. And look at that dome and all those people.
I wouldn't have been on the call here.
You don't know that.
I know that. Vince had I had run afoul of Vince. He didn't like me anymore. Man, Bret Hart, look at the blood on the back here.
He's covered in it, man. And that's all from a wink, wink, accidental.
Goddamn ring bell. Hey, a shout out to all of our low-key big hogs and all of the people who have followed us during this year. And as we move into August, we got a lot of great stuff coming up. JR and I just recently took another trip, videotaped it, some good stuff. You'll be seeing it on AdFreeShows, and you'll be seeing it if you're top 2 tiers here on WHW Monday. So we got some good stuff coming up. And another Living with Lois is coming up soon as well. We've shot one of those. It's Living with Lois pre-falling for the second time. It's funny, her shoulder just healed, and then she falls again. Now, fans are now starting to get into this a little bit. Referee bump. Couple fans standing up. Look at this. They think it's a finish. And it was.
Look at the crowd. Let's track it.
By Bret the Hitman Hart. We got a new Intercontinental Champion. The winner of this bout. And new Intercontinental Champion. Bret Hitman Hart.
Bleeding profile.
profusely, but I'm sure it doesn't bother him one bit right now because he has regained the Intercontinental Championship belt.
So what?
So what?
Doesn't help me. I've been putting money in my pocket.
And look at that. Hot Rod reaches out his hand after giving the belt to the Hitman. It doesn't matter who wears the belt here. We're looking at two tremendous champions. Let's go back and take a look at what went down earlier on in this one.
Look at this. Piper's got an illegal chokehold. He's choking the life right out of him. What a move. Springs, flips over, hooks him. 1, 2, and 3.
What a tremendous matchup this was. Intercontinental title changing hands here in the Hoosier Dome. What a match.
I got to tell you, I really love this match, and I don't think it's debatable. This helped make Brett. You know, he's working with the tippy top guy, and to be sort of not only pick up the win, but almost get the endorsement there. That's pretty big time stuff.
It is, and I like the enthusiasm of Gorilla Monsoon, man.
Yeah, Gorilla was so great. You're right. You would have never been on the call. Without further ado, go to 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 5 seconds. You'll see Sean Mooney on the left, Mr. Perfect in the middle, and the Nature Boy himself on the right. That's 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 5 seconds. We're setting up for a Ric Flair interview backstage with Sean Mooney in the old fake locker room set that I love so much. It's 1 hour, 12 minutes, 5 seconds. Tony, let me know when you're there.
All right, and we're also going to give everybody else a chance to get there. If you go to, of course, we hope you are following with us on the network. When you click there, it's probably going to automatically start, so you need to pause it. We'll give you a chance to pause it and go to 1:12:05. And this was a tough time for WCW to see Ric Flair there. But then again, you know, when you have Jim Herd running your company, why the fuck not? I'm there. You ready?
I'm so ready. I'm ready for it in my body.
Ready for it in your body? In 3, 2, 1, play.
Perfect champion Ric Flair, this is it. We are just moments away for the...
Shut up, Mooney. This is what it's all about. The prize photo of your old lady, Savage. The one we're going to put up on the big screen in the Hoosier Dome so everybody can see what she looks like. We've had it all taken care of. We took out all the flaws. She's as close to perfect as she's going to get.
Oh, and believe me, this is the real deal. Ladies and gentlemen, it's WrestleMania 8. It's Indianapolis, Indiana. It's bright lights. It's the big cities. It's long limousines. It's women lined up for a block to take a shot at the champ and Mr. Perfect. But most of all, it's Randy Savage's attempt to walk the aisle to defend the honor of his lady and to try and capture the most coveted trophy of them all, the World Wrestling Federation Championship. Randy, after taking the worst beating of your life, keep this in mind when you're flat on your back. Look up to the big screen, because Mr. Perfect will be waving the fold-out of Liz and Pal. She's all the way live. And then Liz, to top it off, you got one last shot, baby, at Space Mountain.
Can I come along with you this time, champ?
Yeah.
Let's go over to Gene Okerlund.
Obviously, World Wrestling Federation champion Ric Flair not at a loss for words. That is not the case, however, with the Macho Man Randy Savage. At this juncture, he is not granting interviews to anybody. It could be that this man is concentrating right now on regaining the World Wrestling Federation title. Or it could be that he's preoccupied with regaining the honor of his wife, the lovely Elizabeth. Or it could be that he is totally consumed with the thought, the notion that that alleged centerfold is going to be going up on the big screen here at the Hoosier Dome this afternoon, courtesy of Ric Flair. Whatever the case leading up to all of this, I've got to believe it's going to be one of the greatest title bouts in World Wrestling Federation history. With that in mind, let's get out to ringside.
So we're all set. In case you don't catch the storyline here, Tony, Flair is alleging that he hit it first.
So what's on the photo? Is it a nude photo?
Yes.
Of Liz? Okay.
It's her butt ass naked.
Butt ass naked. Man, we got some legendary performers here. Look at the Fink.
Probably why they got you the fuck out of town, you know?
Yeah, you would think. Now, let me ask you, since you're the belt Mark, I mean the belt guy. Flair, this was the time after Flair had to give the belt back, obviously, right?
Yeah, he gave back the big gold. Now he's the WWF champ. He won the Royal Rumble a few months prior.
Right.
Notice this robe, by the way. It's looking pretty slick willy, but check out what's on the back as he struts ass here.
Okay.
Oh, there she
It's
is.
a girl on the back.
Mrs. Banks herself. Look at that. What's it say?
Ric Flair.
What did it usually say?
Nature Boy.
Vince McMahon didn't want it to say Nature Boy. His WWE robes, or WWF robes as it were, said Ric Flair.
What is the story behind that, pray tell?
God damn it. What is a Nature Boy? Your name is Ric Flair. Call yourself Ric Flair. So there you go. He ordered some robes, a baby blue one, this red one, RIC Flair. Now, of course, he still has his old ones, but these here, the new ones that he had made when he worked for WWE, Ric Flair on the back. But still the same lady who made them, Olivia Walker.
Yeah, I get that. But God damn it. Kurt Hennig didn't have Kurt Hennig on the back of that jacket. He had Mr. Perfect, God damn it. Who are you? Kurt Hennig or Mr. Perfect? You see a double fucking bullshit standard from Vince McMahon.
No, you don't. Because, see, he owns Mr. Perfect, you rat soup eating motherfucker.
So there it gets right down to it, doesn't it?
Well, he didn't own Ric Flair.
Well, still, he just bunch of, don't defend them, a bunch of bullshit.
Boy, you just woke up on the wrong side of the bed. You woke up on that I hate WWE side of the bed.
Kind of stay on that side of the bed. And here we go. Well, I'm telling you, this has just knowing that Flair is going to work against Savage in 92.
Big time feel.
Yes, sir, it does. Man, I like that gold and black.
It's a good look.
The sequence? Yes, it is, man. Still haven't seen his face yet. I mean, he ran down. They only got the back of him, and there it is.
By the way, on this day, whereas, they're presenting here in the Hoosier Dome, Ric Flair and the Macho Man, you guys had Sting and Vader for the world title on top. That's a hell of a match, too.
Yes. But in front of 100 people in Murfreesboro, Connecticut or something like that.
No, Jacksonville, Florida.
Jacksonville, Florida. Okay.
But you did have on that undercard, Nikita
Here we go.
Koloff and Diamond Dallas Page. And who could forget Johnny B. Bad and Tracy Smothers?
Oh, absolutely.
And what about the geniuses who put together Cactus Jack and Junkyard Dog?
Oh, man, that was a barn burner. So Kurt Hennig is basically Flair's manager here. He's not able to wrestle. He's hurt.
Yeah,
What's going on?
He's the advisor, but yeah, he's the manager.
Yeah. Because you would think a guy who could work like Kurt Hennig would put in some ring time of his own.
Well, he's hurt. He can't wrestle.
Well, I asked you if he's hurt, and you didn't say yes or no to that.
Well, no, you asked if he was his manager, and I said yes.
I said, is he hurt or what? And you said he's his
He was
manager.
getting that Lloyd's of London money. This has been well established. Are you a new wrestling fan? How old are you?
Yeah, well, yes, I am. Very much so. New wrestling fan to what went on in the WWE back then. That's well documented. I didn't give a flying fuck went on back then.
I'll be back.
Where the fuck you going? What the fuck? Here's a cover. Oh, boy. And it's a 2 count. Macho Man Randy Savage. We want to make sure that you watch a little bit later on because the Nature Boy Ric Flair is going to get fined by Vince McMahon for bleeding in this match. That's right. There is a double standard in the WWE. If you were if you were a star in WCW, you are going to get fucked over. And that is well known. And Mr. Perfect looked great here. He looked perfect, I might add.
Oh, look at you being cute.
Oh, did you go take a shit?
No, man, I'm sick. Don't you hear me?
What's wrong with you?
I got a cold, so I'm going in the other room to blow my nose.
Really? Got a cold. Have you been tested for COVID?
Yeah, they put their finger up my ass.
Hey, how was your weekend with your goofball friends last weekend?
If you really wanted to know, you would have came.
No, I told you Lois and I were in a cabin, so I want to know. I mean, if you open your doors to Matt Coon and Pondwater Dave and dumbass Mike Dawkins and Casio Kid and all that, it's got to be some stories. It's got to be something that you want to document.
No, I don't. Let me ask though, how in the world could you list Matt Coon and then refer to Mike Dawkins as a dumbass?
Yeah, poor choice of words that time.
No shit.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry about that. I apologize for that. But he is a dumbass. Matt Coon.
Meltzer would write of this. This was expected to be the match of the show, and it lived up to the hype. The purported centerfold of Elizabeth that Titan was using as a lure to get last-minute buys never materialized. Savage attacked Flair early. Blah, 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 blah.
Wow.
4.25 stars.
Wow. So they did a little bait and switch there. You're going to see a naked Miss Elizabeth, but you never see it.
Well, Flair was saying, once I beat the Macho Man, I'm going to kiss those wet, moist lips, and then I'm going to show everybody that I had her first, Randy, with a big picture on the centerfold,
right?
On the big Tron or whatever they call it.
Sure.
On the big screen.
Jumbotron or whatever. The big screen's good enough. Just some of the things that Flair does. I mean, we've talked about this before. You've seen them many, many times, but they're still good, aren't they? Jaws with the fans, chops him in the corner, shoots him in the other side. He could call a match. You didn't even know he was calling it. He was so good at it. That's kind of and I guess because, kayfabe has died, and we notice now more when they're calling spots. But I remember back when I was a fan, I didn't know they were calling spots. Did you when you first started watching it?
No.
No, because it was so well done back then. The guys who are really great workers could really do a great job in calling a match without you seeing them talking. And just another thing that how wrestling has changed through the years. I mean, obviously, internet has changed everything. I get that, but I mean, kayfabe is basically kind of still alive here. When did kayfabe die? Is there a certain date?
Probably the day you beat off RoboCop on pay-per-view a couple years prior to this.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Now,
shouldn't have asked you that question.
He was in the suit. Did you have like a Wizard of Oz type moment? Did he go, Tony, more oil, more oil. Tony, I'm not like Lois. I'm going to need more oil. More oil.
I'm going to live with RoboCop the rest of my life.
Is that her name now? Is that like a pet
name? No. Look at this Flair, man. Wow.
Let me ask you.
Yeah.
Since this is the second time, I'm not asking this to be funny. I'm sincerely asking. Are you going to consider getting Lois a life alert? If she falls and she can't, and you're out of town because you're going to be down in Jacksonville cheating on your wife or whatever you do down there.
I work down there, Conrad.
I haven't seen it. All I see is,
really?
Jim Ross working real hard.
Yeah.
Taz doing his best to make sure that that's a permanent spot for him. And you in the corner flirting with Britt Baker and Reba. That's what I see every Wednesday. Yeah. And meanwhile, your wife is waiting on you to come home.
Mm-hmm.
She hears that garage door open, hears you come in and say, "Oh, biggity bug," and get all excited. And, help, Tony, Tony, I've fallen and I can't get up. And then you're like, "Too bad, bitch. Long drive. Going to the back cave. See you in the morning."
Wow, that's pretty accurate. Except I would certainly reach down to call Chris or something to pick her up. I'd go that far.
From the archives of What Happened When, Tony talks about his eyewitness account of the infamous backstage fight between Vader and Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff.
Let's talk about what led to Luger being there. In the August 14th edition of The Observer, Meltzer would report that the main event for the first Nitro is supposed to be Hogan versus Paul Orndorff. And of course, this changes, and Orndorff isn't in the main event. And he may have been considered for one of two reasons. One, to recreate his very successful run with Vince that did big business opposing Hogan a decade before. Or two, to capitalize on the dirt sheet buzz that Paul had for his backstage fight with Vader. So let's cover that for a minute. In August, WCW has a TV taping at Center Stage where Big Van Vader and Paul Orndorff get into a backstage brawl of sorts. Orndorff at the time was working as an agent. Vader shows up late. Paul thinks this is Vader being disrespectful. They have words. Vader says he was doing a photo shoot on orders from Bischoff, and everyone knew he would be late. Apparently, they were running late on interviews, and the day was running long, and they needed Vader to do this interview right then, or they'd have to go into extra expense for the crew. So depending on who you believe, Paul cussed Vader and called him a fat-ass prima donna. Vader acted like he was going to do something about it and pushes Orndorff down. And then Orndorff allegedly knocks Vader out with a single punch from his bad arm. And Paul's bad arm is from an injury where he never got it fixed. In the 80s, it caused the arm to atrophy. And allegedly, Paul is fresh out of the shower here and wearing shower shoes, like flip-flops, when he punches Vader. So the legend has grown as time has went on that you've got an older star in shower shoes with a bad arm who knocks out the biggest in-ring bully WCW had at the time. And in the end, WCW sided with Orndorff and suspended Vader for the incident. Now, that's all the rumor and innuendo, Tony, but you were probably there. So set the record straight. What really happened?
I'll tell you exactly what happened because it happened right at my feet. Right at my feet. We were doing interviews on the set at Center Stage.
With Gene Okerlund.
With Gene Okerlund. And Paul was one of the agents. And Paul was trying to round up guys. I don't think Vader was late. I think, if I remember correctly, and I think I do, Vader, they couldn't find him.
I see.
And we needed him to come out. I don't think a concern about interviews running long and paying the crew extra to do it, because the crew was there all day to do whatever we needed to do. I don't think that was a concern. So the microphone is open, an interview is over. Paul comes out with a sheet, and it's supposed to be Vader, and Paul says, "I can't fucking find him, fuck him," or something to that extent. "We'll do something else without that motherfucker." Okay, but he may have said prima donna. So they started to do something else. Paul comes backstage, and I'm standing there. There was a room where we did our meetings, and Paul was standing there, and he didn't have his shower shoes on. He was working clothes.
Okay.
And Vader came up and pushed him and said, "You motherfucker, if you got something you got to say to me, you say it to my face." Well, when he pushed Paul fucking clocked him, threw him down, got him down, and fucking was stomping his head into the concrete. Stomping right on top of his head. And Vader was saying, "Get him off of me. Get him off me." And Paul was just stomping the fuck out of him. And I remember guys getting around and pulling off. And I remember Kevin Sullivan saying, when they finally pulled him apart, Kevin Sullivan said, "Let Paul go." I remember he saying, "If you don't let Paul go, Vader's going to take a cheap shot while you're holding him. That's what kind of guy he is." And they finally pulled him apart, and Vader was bleeding. So one punch clock to knock him down. Not so sure that happened. He may have just taken him down. But once he got him down, he was stomping the back of the head into the concrete, or stomping his face into the concrete by stomping on the back of his head. Eric wasn't there. Eric had heard so many things, and this was before we all had cell phones. So there was a payphone back there. Eric said, "Let me talk to Schiavone," and I told Eric exactly what I just told you, although it was probably a lot fresher in my mind. And he said, "So Vader instigated this." I said, "Oh yeah, Vader's the one that shoved him and challenged him." So that's how it all went down. And I don't know if I'm proud to say, but I can tell you it happened right there in front of me. And there were no shower shoes. The photo shoot could have been, I don't think it was. Vader just was roaming around there and they couldn't find him because, running these guys down has always been a big problem.
Right.
And the bigger the arena, the tougher it is sometimes to find them. You can tell guys, you got interviews at 4:30, be there. They're still not going to be there. That's just the way they were. And that's why agents were assigned to run these guys down. Vince had it really pretty much choreographed. But that was what happened then. I think the Orndorff Hogan thing probably was as much to garner the excitement of 10 years ago in the great run that they had, because it was tremendous.
Yeah.
Paul Orndorff and Hulk Hogan, that split screen cage, who got on the floor first, was a tremendous angle, a tremendous match. And I think they were trying to pick up on that. I'm not so sure if they were booking for the dirt sheets or not back then. But
it's come out in recent years that Vader has said that he was drinking a lot at the time and not being himself. And Orndorff has also admitted that he could have handled it better. But either way, it was a mess that ultimately results in a lot of things changing, because all the rumor was Vader was slated to beat Hogan on the second Nitro for the world title to give people the impression that this is the type of show where anything can happen and they're going to run hot angles and it's not just going to be squash matches. So it wasn't meant for Vader to be the WCW champ again, which means that it kind of seems strange, but he never won the big gold belt.
Yeah, and this may have been the last straw with Vader, because I know, as Leon said, he probably was drinking a lot at that time. He was at times difficult to deal with. Not me, but difficult with the agents and the guys in the business. Difficult to deal with. I can say this without a doubt: he got his ass kicked that day. Paul Orndorff beat the shit out of him that day. And it's a moment that I'll never forget. And so I can see this kind of being the last straw, because Vader was difficult to work with. And I think admittedly so after what you just said.
So in September of 95, WCW sends a cease and desist to the WWF claiming Vader's under contract and any contact would be considering tampering. And they may just be trying to get the jump there. Yeah. He wasn't on the first Nitro, and they started the second Nitro making mention that Vader hadn't completed the necessary paperwork and had gone AWOL. And this is 1 week after Luger had jumped ship and debuted on the very first edition of Nitro that we're talking about today. So it sort of works out like it's a bit of a trade of sorts, with Luger coming to WCW and Vader going to the WWF. I know that's not exactly how it happened, but who would you argue got the better of this trade, if it really was a trade?
Well, I would argue that that WCW did.
See, I think everybody would disagree with that and say that that Vader going to the WWF was a bigger coup.
Well, that is probably an opinion from a fan basis.
Yeah,
and I'm just doing an opinion from a front office basis.
Sure, no, I get that.
Okay.
And this is 1 week after Luger had jumped ship and debuted on the very first edition of Nitro that we're talking about today. So it sort of works out like it's a bit of a trade of sorts, with Luger coming to WCW and Vader going to the WWF. I know that's not exactly how it happened, but who would you argue got the better of this trade, if it really was a trade?
Well, I would argue that that WCW did.
See, I think everybody would disagree with that and say that that Vader going to the WWF was a bigger coup.
Well, that is probably an opinion from a fan basis.
Yeah.
And I'm just doing an opinion from a front office basis.
Sure. No, I get that.
Okay.
So anyway, here's how Luger fits in here. It's reported at the time that whole brawl happens, that it leads to renewed negotiations with Luger. Meltzer had put it out there that Bischoff wasn't high on Luger and it only offered him $1,000 per night without a contract. And in fact, Bischoff himself says he only agreed to meet with Luger out of respect to Sting, who had requested the meeting, and they didn't want anybody to know. So the meeting actually happens in Sting's garage because they don't want it getting out. Bischoff said of Luger, quote, "Between his lack of talent and piss poor attitude, I had no interest in him whatsoever. Bringing in a guy like Lex Luger, a guy who in my opinion did nothing but bitch and complain and was a marginal talent at best, just didn't make any sense to me," end quote. But then, of course, this fight happens at center stage and WCW starts to scramble. One of the early ideas, as we mentioned, was to have Vader in the main event win the belt from Hogan on Nitro, and that would really set up their War Games pay-per-view. And now with Vader's situation, they start to reconsider the stance on Luger, and it frees up a bunch of cash. So Bischoff says he signed Lex for only $150,000, a number that others have disputed. But there's a promise that if it went well, he would revisit that. And it's worth mentioning that Luger is leaving a roughly $500,000 a year gig with the WWF when he makes this jump. So Vader is persona non grata on TV for WCW beyond pre-recorded TV commercials for Fall Brawl and stuff like that. So to kind of recap, Vader goes from being the featured big push, title win, main event, on Nitro, to now they inform him he's fired on the 11th of October, with the official reason being that his 90-day review window had passed and he was medically unable to wrestle because of a shoulder injury. But everyone kind of knows it's because of this incident with Orndorff. Do you remember the shoulder injury, Tony?
No, I do not. Now, let me go back here. You say everyone knows it's because of the fight. Everyone doesn't know. You guys who followed the dirt sheet knew, and the guys in the wrestling business knew. But I think the regular fan did not know.
Oh, yeah. I'm just saying, when they list a thing on there saying, oh, your 90 days thing passed and you can't wrestle, that's a bullshit answer. The real answer is, hey, you're hard to do business with. You got in a fight with Orndorff. Get the fuck out of here. That's hard to put on a form.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But the shoulder injury, you're talking about Vader's shoulder injury?
Yeah, it happened at the Bash of the Beach in 1995. There was a cage match against Hogan there in July. So a couple of months prior to that, or I guess a month prior to that, he was trying to do a shooting star press, but he said Hogan was too far out and it was a messy fall. So he hurt himself, but just continued to work through it with pain pills and booze. That's not a great combination.
No, not for someone his size and his demeanor, it wasn't.
And when he was suspended without pay, he was supposedly making $750,000 a year through March of '99. Bruce has disputed that amount before on our WWF show on Vader. Do you think WCW was actually paying Vader $750 in '95?
No, I do not. I can't think anybody south of Hulk Hogan was making that amount.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where they got that one from.
Well, Vader's out there doing shoot interviews and keeping that story going, but now you've heard it from both sides. That doesn't appear to be the case.
No.
From AdFreeShows.com, a very special bonus which features, well, I guess it's probably best for Conrad to describe it. Only available, except for today, on AdFreeShows.com.
Just making up shit as I go.
Oh, well, we're good at that, and we're good at pulling things out of our ass, and the internet pulled something out of its collective ass a few weeks ago, and now you and I are going to have some fun with it. It first popped up on Twitter, and then people started to upload it to YouTube, and it's sort of grown from there. But it's the wrestlers of the NWA playing basketball for charity against the Charlotte Police Department in 1988. And I sent you a link the very moment I saw this a few weeks back. And I don't think you ever saw this, right?
I've never seen it, but I think I told you this, and I believe I'm right. I don't even know if I got in the game, but I was on the team.
What?
Back then. And I remember because they were introducing everybody individually. And the announcer says, where's your hometown? I went, Pasadena, California. So they introduced me, Tony Schiavone, announcer, Pasadena, California. So I'm there, and I don't know if I got off the bench or not. But it didn't matter because Dusty shot the ball every time he got it.
Surprise. Well, listen, this is a 39-minute basketball game, and we're going to provide some alternate commentary and talk over it and do silly shit. And occasionally we might track it. We're going to do what we do here, but we wanted to take a minute and thank you guys for all your support. Just off air before we clicked record, Tony and I were talking about the phenomenal growth and support that we've gotten from you guys. And we really do appreciate it. And our sort of man behind the curtain here is Evan Polisher. We think he's been doing a great job, but we want to continue to deliver to you the great content that you look forward to and expect. And we also want to thank our top guys, because now that things are sort of opening up, Tony, you and I are looking forward to planning a big weekend here in Huntsville, right?
Yes, we are. And it's a show. It's part of being a Patreon member of What Happened When, but it's also because, and I do a chat every week, and we're the top tier people. We're family. We really are. And even the people who are join the channel on a weekly basis, they're my friends. And, we, thanks to the guidance and the leadership of the master of shitting on people, Conrad Thompson, we shit on each other all the time and give each other a hard time, but we enjoy it. And we enjoy your camaraderie. We're all wrestling fans, and this is a place that we can all get together and look back on things and laugh. And many times when it's WCW in 2000, we cry. And so I'm just thoroughly enjoying this part of my life. And sometimes, with schedules and everything, it's not easy for you and I to get together and record this, but every time I do, I walk away from it thinking, man, that was a lot of fun.
No, I agree totally. It has been a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward, for us getting everybody together. We've got a big, pay-per-view watch party coming. And, I think we'd sort of talked about the idea of maybe trying to do that for SummerSlam, if SummerSlam winds up being on a closed set. But, watching a show like that with you and Arn or JR or Eric or, at least 2 or 3 of you guys that we can get together, that's going to be fun. Mm-hmm. And then we've still got that annual get together that we're going to do and try to get as many of our co-hosts from AdFreeShows together and just spend a whole weekend. And whenever we've done that for just What Happened When, it's a blast. I can't imagine the fun we would have with you and Tony and Arn Anderson, or you and Arn and, JR in the same room. Get out of here.
Well, I do need to make an announcement, and I haven't announced this on What Happened When, but I'm going to announce it here, and I guess eventually this will be on What Happened When too. But I've officially stopped drinking.
Oh, well, congratulations. Did that happen after you went toe to toe with Jim Ross and Mike Tyson in Jacksonville?
Yeah.
You overdo it a little bit?
Well, I never have been much of a drinker. You know that. Lois always says, you're a fucking lightweight. Compared to her, most people.
But you did get into Moscow Mules a little bit.
Yeah. We had a beach party, and I started out with hard ciders because I like hard cider. It's refreshing to me. I like it better than beer. And they had some local hard cider on tap. Had about 3 of those. JR shows up, and the first thing, JR comes to me with a Moscow Mule in each hand. He hands me one. It's not like you have a choice.
Right.
It's not like you go to not like JR turns to you and says, hey, I'm going to the bar. Can I get you something to drink? He goes to the bar and he gets it and he forces it on you.
Ric Flair style. Woo.
Yeah. So I had 4 of those. So now I'm 7 drinks in. And here comes the tequila shooters.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm. 3 of those in.
That ain't good. That ain't good.
So I drove to the beach party, but I left the car there, and they had a bus for us to come back. All right, drive back. And the next thing I know, I'm standing up in the aisleway, dancing with Sunny Kiss. Yes, I am. Dancing with Vicky Guerrero. Taking pictures with Anna Jay, like an old creep. Arn showed me this picture. Arn said, you probably need to get this off the internet. People think you're an old creep. I said, I think they think that anyway. And so I get back, and it's an early party. So I get back to the hotel about 11:30, and I lay down, and I can't sleep, and I'm drunk, and I get up the next day, and I am so motherfucking hungover. My head is pounding, my hips are hurting, all the joints in my body. I want to take a shit, and I can't. I want to puke, and I can't. I'm stuck. I mean, and I said, you know what? It's fuck it. Fuck it. I love hanging out with people and having a good time, but it ain't worth it the next day. I don't know how you drunks like you and Lois and all you guys do it on a regular basis. I just don't know how you fucking drunks do it.
Well, let me explain.
Okay.
Vodka only.
Really?
If you go vodka, water, Crystal Light, and just follow my path that I created with no help from Jay-Z whatsoever, I don't know how this vicious rumor got started, but I'm the creator and inventor and proprietor of Tito's Vodka on the rocks with a little bit of Crystal Light squirty flavor. And then you fill it to the brim with water, stir, and enjoy. And it is delicious, and it is nutritious, and it is refreshing.
Nutritious.
And I give it 5 stars.
Nutritious.
I mean,
I had a great time. I really did that night. And I didn't make a fool of myself. I think, I mean, you would have seen me dancing with Sonny Kiss. You would say he's making a fool of himself, but I like Sonny.
Oh, nobody's making fun of that. Hey, let me ask.
But what I'm saying is I didn't hit on anybody. Okay.
Well,
and there were plenty of people to hit. There were plenty of girls to hit on. I did.
You posted a lot of selfies.
Yes. And
some of them were blurry.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. And then, you know, the story of the selfie I posted with Nyla Rose, don't you? You've heard that story?
No.
I said, take my picture of Nyla. And I love Nyla, just love her to death.
How could you not? Great person.
Yeah, great person. So we were hugging, took the picture, and I went, oh, I'm posting that. And I put it on Twitter. And then I look at it, and in the background is Adam Cole. And I went, fuck. So I deleted it, cropped it, put it back on there. And then, of course, you know, some of the people, by the way, you people who, some people say, oh, he's trying to crop out Adam Cole because the Adam Cole doesn't want to be seen. But here, I've got the screenshot right now. I'm going to put it out. By the way, you're one of the hashtags, go fuck yourself, get a real job people. So and someone said, why did you crop out Adam Cole? I said, because I respect the fucking business, fucker. Adam Cole, we all know, is Britt Baker's boyfriend. At least he is now. I ain't done, but I ain't done yet. Okay.
I love you for that.
And he's the boyfriend, and he's a WWF guy, WWE guy. So, you know, why should that be in my picture? So
the point is, you're not trying to cause problems for anybody, and you're trying to be respectful, and it might not be a big deal, but why even allow it to be a possibility of it being a conversation? So you're old South. Well, listen, let's get to it, man. I'm really excited to watch this basketball game. We've got the link here provided for you, and we hope that you'll watch along with us, but you don't have to. We'll do our best to sort of fill in the gaps. I don't think this is the full game, but we've got as much of it as we can get. The video that I found that we've linked here is 39 minutes and 29 seconds. Tony, do you want to do this countdown?
I'll do the countdown. By the way, when we hit play, you're going to see, obviously, the game in action, kind of midstream, so to speak. And here we go in 3, 2, 1, play.
There's fast break. Looked like it was going to Barry Windham. Turn it around, HPD. Ball goes out. It looks like Sting's rocking number 22 here. Luger looks like he's at number 34. 41. Who is that? Is that Tim Horner?
No, it's not Tim Horner. It's too big to be Tim Horner. I have 41? No idea who that is.
Well, come on, Tony. You see Dusty down here not wearing a jersey, just a black tank top, no number. Yep. I love that about Dusty.
Yeah. I want to get this out of the way. A lot of great people in the world that are not on the police force. And there are a lot of great people in the world who are on police forces. End of story. Don't judge one type. Look at Sting here, man. Sting looks legit, doesn't he? Thin waist.
Sting looks like somebody.
Look at Luger go over the rebound.
Yeah, he did. Gonna toss it to his man, Barry Windham, the natural. Here he comes.
Oh man, as you can see, the NWA has 37-33 lead on the Police Athletic League. Dusty's got it, looking to shoot it. See, I was like, what did I tell you? Fuck it, I'm shooting.
Oh man, Barry with a steal and throws it up himself. Airball Jones. Lex Luger has it. Drops to the hoop.
Shit.
Nope, he can't make it either. Oh, how about Barry tipping it back?
Yeah, they called walking on Luger.
Well, he was. He took about 88 steps.
But that was a pretty good move on the baseline. Let's take a look at the replay once again, Conrad. You really think that was a walk?
No, I don't know. No, they fouled him. So yeah, he's going to the foul line.
They fouled him. I thought they called a walk. Okay. Wow. Luger showing off them guns.
How about they spelled Luger with an A?
I know.
I got to tell you, as a kid, I know this is dumb, but as a kid, I always wanted a clear backboard. Thought that was cool. All of my basketball hoops I had as a kid, you know, the regular white gimmicks, but you go to the gym and they've always got a clear one, and that's what the NBA uses. So you're like, oh man, I want a clear one.
Oh, absolutely.
And now that I can afford a clear one, I haven't thought twice about getting a clear one. When I was a little kid, it was like the jam.
Wow. What a shot. You know, when I was a little kid, you know what I wanted for my basketball court?
What's that?
I wanted concrete or asphalt. We played on dirt.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Now my, one of the houses that I lived in growing up, I played on dirt as well. Yeah. But once, eventually we had a, concrete driveway. Yeah. Air ball, big time. What's great is when this went viral a couple of weeks ago, somebody, and it was a fun tweet, sent out, some sort of comparison between Dusty Rhodes and Steph Curry. Like, you know, Dusty had to walk so Steph could run. And it was him hitting a three, which he will in this video. But I'm like, boy, they didn't see the rest of that tape. I think at some point when we get everybody together for our big shindig here in Huntsville, we should play like horse. Eric Bischoff, Arn Anderson, Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone.
That'd be tremendous. And,
can you imagine?
Videotape it? Yeah.
No, not going to videotape that. That would just be for the top guys.
No, we videotape it. There's Brad Armstrong.
Yeah. Look, how would does he look like a Memphis gigolo or what?
Jesus Christ.
God damn.
I'd want to record the horse because I'd burn all of you motherfuckers in horse.
There ain't no chance you'd beat me in horse.
I'd burn you fuckers in horse.
I'd bet all my worldly possessions that I could beat you in horse.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not a fucking chance.
Well, when I went to the beach a few weeks ago with Cassio Kidd and Corey Ryan Forrester, I don't mean to brag, but I won horse.
Yeah. Okay. You got a fat ass who likes mashed potatoes, and you got an unfunny redneck you're playing. What the fuck?
Well, you think Eric Bischoff's going to beat me? There ain't no basketball hoops in Wyoming.
Okay. I'm not talking.
How good is JR going to be? 18 Moscow Mule.
Throw out all those names. The one you got to fucking worry about is fucking me.
No, I don't. Because here's all I'm going to do.
You do. Oh, yeah, you do.
I want to make sure Whitney Wright's there. You ain't going to care about no basketball.
You damn right I wouldn't.
I don't have time for silly games, Conrad.
They would say, stick it in the hoop, Tony. I'd say, what hoop?
Stick it in somewhere.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, they're not doing many substitutions. I mean, it's much Luger, Sting, and Dusty here. Well, and Wyndham and there's Kendall Wyndham in there too.
Yes.
Yeah. Kendall's number 21, I think, is somebody fucking shoot the motherfucking ball.
I mean, this has got to be a shot clock. Wow. God damn. Why does these guys have got to get closer?
Oh, that's Hawk. My God,
there.
Mike Hegstrand.
I don't think anybody wants to foul number 43.
No. See that? Look at that.
Yeah. Down goes 54. He took a real doomsday device.
Mike Hegstrand, low post. He's my man, buddy. You saw the Road Warrior one, didn't you? The Dark Side of the Ring.
Oh, of course. Yeah. We did.
They're real disturbing for me. More than anything else, real disturbing because I loved Hegstrand so much.
It was disturbing to me that they chose it as a topic.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a little more, conversation with the fellows before they, finalize season 3, if and when season 3 is a thing. And I'm going to campaign hard for a few episodes.
Good. I have been told that there's so many top. Whoa, fuck! Who burned that one?
There he is.
That's Tim Horner, I believe.
Or was it Tommy Rogers?
No, I think it's Horner.
Okay.
I didn't see it close enough, so I don't know. But I think that's Horner who just fell on his ass right there.
Okay.
I think. I'm not sure.
I said, okay, Tony.
Fucking Mike Hagstrand.
Dude.
I'm telling you.
No, you said, I've been told there were top, and you stopped.
Top what?
I don't know. You said I've been told.
I've been told that there's plenty of things in wrestling they can make these shows on.
Oh yeah.
They'll never run out of stuff.
I sent my wish list over.
But I have kind of a critique as, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for halftime. NWA up by 5. I have a critique about what they're doing. I know they're good friends of the show and everything. Here's my critique. Oh my God. Hello, sweetie. My critique.
Is that your daughter, Lori?
What's that?
Is that Lori?
No.
So she's got the side ponytail like Lori had once.
Oh yeah. It's Laurie's curly, bushy hair.
I'm going to track it.
See, what's it gonna hurt? Nobody's gonna know. Yeah, right. You know what my girlfriend said? She said nobody is that cute. Yeah.
Fucking Christ.
Planned Parenthood.
Is that JJ coaching here?
JJ is on the Cop sideline.
Yeah, I know.
What's up with that?
Fucking knows.
By the way, I really wanted Doug Dillinger. Oh, look who it is.
Wow, Jimmy Crockett and David.
Jimmy and David. How about it?
Ricky Santana. There's Magnum TA over on the right.
How about that knee brace on David? My God. Jimmy's going to inbound. This is so great.
This is tremendous.
Why do you think he chose the number 30?
I was just thrown out to him.
It's 1988. So it's probably like, how many more days we going to be in business? 30. On what day do you pay your invoices? 30.
How many people you owe money to? 30. Oh, Jesus, criminy Christ.
Dude, it's so cool to see him running around the court.
Did you see who's in there?
No, I wasn't paying.
Meathead, meatball of the fucking year, the Italian Stallion.
Oh, Jesus.
And you know what? You know what I found out?
What's that?
You know whose career he was instrumental in?
Matt Hardy.
Yes.
Yeah. All them North Carolina boys.
He booked Matt Hardy. He booked all those kids.
Matt Hardy was on TV when he was a teenager.
Yeah. And he told me stories about being booked by him. I'm thinking, when he told me that, Matt and I were we were having something to eat after a show one night. It was just like me, him, and Tony Khan and Keith Mitchell, just a couple of us, just eating and having a few cold ones. And he was telling me the story. He said, so Gary Cortinelli. I went, hang on a second. The Italian Stallion? He said, yeah, he would take us and book us. And I said, you let that fucking motherfucker book you? He said, yeah. I said, is he still, he's one of the biggest con men of the business.
Is he really?
Oh my God. But but not in the vicious way. Not in the vicious way. But he was a big con man. Oh, somebody's hurt. Oh my God. It's a battle royal. Let's see. Let's take a look at the replay and see who went down. See if Garrett Cortinelli's one who went down. No, but he fouled somebody. Holy shit.
Man, I didn't watch this all the way through, but this is not good.
Lift him up. Is that David? Or is that Jimmy?
That's Jimmy.
I think it's Jimmy.
Yeah. No wonder everybody came around.
One of his own team fouled him because of payoffs.
By the way, the house here in 1988 looks about like any NWA show in 1988.
There was, I saw George South on the bench there.
Well, he's probably going to get in there and make the police look good in a minute. As soon as he takes his jacket off.
I just, I really like the fact that, I see George now and I like Big Swole trained by George South, right? Just kids that I know being trained by wrestlers that I used to know. And I guess I still know them. I just don't, here's, Kirby Dunkman Swindell at the line, Conrad. Great 3-point shooter. He's waiting till they get the ball. He doesn't know what the fuck's going on. Come on, give him there. Thank you.
Dunkman Swindell. Okay.
Got a pretty good shot. How about that? Give that motherfucker the ball. Let's go. See, I always thought in basketball, and how many college basketball games have I seen the last 13 years?
Right.
Almost one a week, 2 a week. I haven't missed them. And I'm always sitting there saying, if a guy is fucking hot, keep giving him the fucking ball. And they never do that. Run your offense. Look for the open man. Fuck that. He's hot. Give it to him. Shoot it. I'd be a hell of a basketball coach. And by the way, I'd also fucking burn your ass, by the way, in horse, which I'm going to.
Well, I can't wait.
I can't either. We ought to actually find a court and have a basketball game.
I got one. I got it covered.
Here comes Dusty. What do you think he's going to do?
Oh, shoot it.
Yeah, he's pretending like he's going to pass. Nope. Nope. Nope.
I love that you knew Dusty Rhodes ain't passing.
He didn't pass the ball.
Man, he just ran right into his ass. My goodness.
When I was in high school, we had a geography teacher who played college basketball at Pan American.
You see this? Watch this, dude.
Extra.
I'm gonna take your shit.
So our geography teacher, Stan Bain, he played on, and he was a college basketball player, and he played in this YMCA league, and the local newspapers always had the box score of the men's YMCA league in there. And I would look and I would see Stan Bain, 30 points, Stan Bain, 35 points. And I said, Coach Bain, how come you score so many points? He said, very simple. You shoot the ball every time you get it. You don't pass it, you shoot it. That's how you score 35 points. So there you go. Word to the wise. Shoot the ball.
Shoot the ball.
Shoot the ball. Hegstrand trying to lay it up off to Tim Horner, off his hands, fucked it up. Look at that pass. Oh, blocked by Wyndham. Yeah, I'm going to go up inside with Sting and Mike Hegstrand in there, man. You know why Animal didn't play in this game? He actually played earlier. He played 3 minutes and blew up.
I love you for that.
So there's timeout on the court.
That's awesome, isn't it? I mean, that was a look in 1988. I'm gonna wear a sweatshirt, some nut hugging shorts. Okay. Oh my God. Gotta track this. Is this a Come Vacation in North Carolina commercial?
There's Nag's Head.
Where were you motherfuckers skiing at? Oh.
Some rock.
My goodness. Look at that giant camera on the guy's shoulder underneath the goal.
All right. Let's see what we got in here now.
By the way, Charlotte Coliseum, this is the same building that Vader lost to Ric Flair in, right?
Yeah. It's now the Bojangles Coliseum.
You guys did TV there last year, right?
Yeah.
In November?
Yeah. Right.
Oh,
this
Barry for 3.
This is the very first Charlotte Coliseum. And,
is the only 3 that's hitting this whole game from Dusty Rhodes?
I think, somebody else hit a 3.
Oh my God. How do you miss the layup? Jesus.
I would have never missed that ever.
Help me understand. this Charlotte PD thing. It says, what's it say on here? The PAL, the Police Academy League or something like
Police
that?
Athletic League.
So help me understand. These guys play regularly and the NWA guys do not?
Right.
And they're still losing badly?
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I think the Police Athletic League had a 4-point lead last time. Dusty's actually passing the ball. Oh, he's got to throw it in.
Oh my gosh.
That was Tommy Rogers, I believe, that missed that shot. I wish they showed more close-ups.
I wish it went in occasionally. That's what she said. What about Dusty trying to D up?
Yeah, because he saw the open lane. Dusty, I'm open.
Oh
Fuck
my
it.
God, my headset fell off.
Kicked it into the stands. Look at him, buddy.
He's mad. I was going to dunk from the free throw line. God damn it.
Huh.
Who was
Pretty
Dusty's favorite basketball player here, do you think? I mean, he used to go on TV all the time wearing the Celtics shit. And of course, Rick would come out rocking the Lakers shit. Do you think he was a Larry Bird guy?
Oh my God. One of the Christmas presents that Jimmy Crockett gave to Dusty, he bought him stock in the Boston Celtics.
I'm sorry. Can you run me past that one more time?
He bought him stock. The Boston Celtics went public, and Jimmy Crockett gave Dusty some Boston Celtics stock for Christmas one time. Dusty just thought that was the greatest thing in the world. And I say, but Dusty, the Celtics fucking suck. I was a Lakers guy, and that Lakers Celtics
rivalry.
Yeah.
So you were a Magic Johnson guy?
Yeah, Magic Johnson, even way before then, Jerry West and Will Chamberlain.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Absolutely. And, that back in the day, there'll never be another rivalry like that. And of course, but I kind of like Larry Bird because Larry Bird reminded of me. He looked like me when he played basketball. He could shoot from everywhere, it would go in every time. And that's how kind of I used to do when I played.
Tim Horner. Who could hit more free throws, me or you?
Oh, out of 100. Well, now, I've had some shoulder problems. So.
Oh Jesus! Here come the excuses for when I beat your horse. There's a 3-pointer for the Charlotte PD. Mm-hmm. Brad Armstrong on his way to steal your girl.
Staying inside. Nice athletic move.
If that would have went in, I would have been like, look at the hops on Sting. Was he fouled along the way?
Well, let's take a look at the replay once again. As you can see, he goes inside. Oh, look at that move. Yes, he is fouled. He gets 2 shots. Good call by the referee.
How old were you in 1988?
I was 30 when this happened. Born in 57, and in November of that year, I was going to turn 31. Had 3 kids. Actually, I had 5 kids. My God. The twins were born in 87. So we had all 5 at that time. Kicking the ball. I think that's Jackie Crockett with the camera down there.
Is it really?
It might be, yeah.
I hear he's got like a ton of great all collectibles.
Yeah. I've heard that too.
I've been trying to get something off of him.
Well, I know how to get in touch with him.
Well, help a brother out.
Okay. His wife and Lois are buddies.
Well, then
his wife sends us jellies and jams and salsa that she makes a lot.
What's better, her jellies, her jams, or her salsas?
Her jellies are tremendous.
What's your go-to jelly flavor?
I like strawberry preserves.
I'm a grape guy.
Oh, you know what JR turned me on to? This is crazy. Paul Newman's pineapple salsa. You ever had that?
No, is it good?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
What's he put it on? Fish?
No, he said you can put it in scrambled eggs. It's great. But I just ate it with, chips.
Oh.
JR cooked for us recently, and it's tremendous. I think that may be Tommy Rogers. No, that was Tim Horner, I guess.
Oh, man. Luger got laid out. No wonder he couldn't be world champ in 88.
Let's see if he could sell it.
Urkel's dad fucking wiped him out. Get out of here.
Luger and Sting are like in for the entire game almost, aren't they?
Well, they were known for their incredible cardio.
Well, that's right.
They own a gym, for God's sake. Some of these cops look like they don't even know a guy named Jim.
How about that, man? And the fans going crazy. They're loving this.
You know what we're going to do? I'm going to get some shirts made that look like these jerseys.
Yeah. And we're going to have a game.
Yeah.
Don't want to show you up, but that's okay. We're friends. You'll get over it. Although, man, my elbow's been bothering me too. Right elbow. Wow.
God damn, how many excuses are you going to make? We haven't even played yet.
On the follow through, you got to use that elbow and the wrist, and that's been bothering me my older age. But I'll pull through. I'll get my way through it. Watch out. This is great to see on many levels because, and especially back then, it was great to see because, back then wrestling was just wrestlers doing their wrestling. There was no slice of life, look behind the scenes. This is what Sting is like in real life, or this is what Hawk is like in real life. And now you see this, and this was a peek inside to, just regular guys, right? So this was, back in the day, this was kind of special.
Right.
So Lex Luger.
Luger.
It was just really different.
What was your number for this game? 69?
I don't know. I'm looking over the bench and I don't see me over there. So I didn't get in the game, but I knew I was there somewhere.
Probably in a makeup chair.
Yeah, baby.
Sniffing bicycle seats.
Yeah, baby. Dusty Rhodes passed the motherfucking ball.
Oh,
look
man.
at Hawk. Boom.
God damn, this hurts to watch. This is secondhand embarrassment.
I know.
Luger, Sting, Hawk. No.
Jesus.
Has anybody ever stood in the paint and made a fucking basket?
Not here. Look at that brick. And then Urkel's dad pulls down the rebound.
I love you just went with it. Urkel's dad pulls down the rebound. All right. Urkel's dad's on the line. Let's see what Carl can do here.
He's had a desk job for 25 years in the Police Athletic League. They call him Coppertone because that's what he uses. Okay, come on, baby. That's his girlfriend in the stands cheering him on. Come on. As you can tell, he's got the QT haircut.
Oh my God.
And there's a line drive missed, pulled down by one. Oh, look, inside.
What was he thinking when he jumped up behind the basketball goal like he was going to loop it around?
I don't know. I just, we got to get, in this basketball game we're going to have, we got to get Jay-Z Flair to play.
Oh, we had a request that, you and I have a couple of guests on the show sometime here on AdFreeShows.com.
Really?
Yeah. It was requested that you and I just like talk to old guys. And I thought, you know what? That might not be a bad idea.
Talk to one every week.
Of course you do. Oh, shoot a three. Oh, he drilled it. Woo!
Yeah, baby. I do it all the time. I do it all. That's 3. See, he's way ahead. He's way ahead of the curve. He comes up, he shows the 3. They do that all the time now.
They're down 1. What do you think, Tony? Is the NWA going to be able to come from behind and seal the victory?
I don't know, man. It's almost like this game's a work. Motherfucker tripped him.
No way. I love he just with so much confidence. Like you could tell it was a poorly shot ball, but that guy had confidence, started running the other way. Like, I'm going to just go ahead and beat the traffic, get down here to this other goal.
And nobody playing defense.
Not a soul, but there was some sort of foul. I think the real foul is Brad Armstrong's perm. Who do you think was getting more cooter here in 88?
Well, the people getting the cooter in 1988 are not with the team here.
My goodness. Had it all by itself with the big steal, the fast break. Not going to happen. Who's going to snatch the, Vern Gagne snatches the rebound, puts it back for Charlotte.
Vern Gagne.
Vern
snatched the rebound and elbow his way in.
Vern gets him up 3.
Oh, shit. Dusty going to put it up again.
Dusty is taking control of the game, ladies and gentlemen. He brings the NWA back within 1, just a 1-point lead for Charlotte.
Yeah, that's right, baby, because I book it and I'm booking this game. And timeout on the court. Ladies and gentlemen, we've talked about North Carolina. There you see Sam Houston coaching on the bench. We talked about abortions, and we're going to pull the cameras back and let's see what we're going to talk about this time, if anything. Take a break.
Try again.
And here.
Hi, I'm Beverly Terry, and this is Principals of Accounting 1. Oh, I'm glad you're all here today. Now, are there any questions about the lesson that we went over yesterday?
Beverly, this is John in Pineville. Will you go over the FIFO inventory method again, please?
Okay, John. We talked about...
You can now enjoy the convenience of live TV classes from the CPCC main campus in the Area Learning Center nearest you.
Community college, remote learning, distance learning.
Wow, they were ahead of their time with Zoom, weren't they?
Yeah, that's way before Zoom.
We're talking about 1988, Central Piedmont Community College, CPCC. They were doing Zoom back then. Fuck all you guys. We've been doing it since 88. We know what the fuck we're doing.
Did you go to a community college?
No.
I did.
Did you?
Yep.
Oh, that's right. You went to Swift State or something like that?
Sneed State.
Sneed State, yeah.
So there you go. Dusty Rhodes, they called him 00, but he's not officially wearing a number. I like it.
Yeah. And he didn't, he should have taken his time.
Yeah. He just wanted, as soon as it touched his hands, he had to shoot it right then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my gosh. That looked like a legit basketball move. Way to go. Number 32. We can call him Magic now.
We're getting down to nut cutting time here, Conrad.
Yeah, we are. So of course they call on Sting. He just dribbles all over that man. He's just switching them up left and right. There goes Dusty. Of course, brick and a half. They're D'ing up big time. Full court press. Armstrong looking to foul. What are they going to call? I'm going to call a foul. I don't think. I think they're just going to go outside.
The Lease Athletic League up by 3 points here as we get near the end of this game. And well, the pressure's on for the NWA All-Stars. I mean, we see them in the ring and the great athletes they are. And now they're just showing us they're just really in their spare time, a bunch of fucking drunks.
I was really hoping that, oh man, here we go. John Stockton's grandpa on the line here.
Front of the rim, Luger with his 10th rebound. He gets fouled, gives it to Barry Windham, and here comes Barry up. You see Sam Houston coaching for the other team.
Barry Windham has been an effective point guard here. Cardio for days.
I think we mentioned this on the show. I don't know if we mentioned it here on AdFreeShows, but heard that Barry's health is not that good as of late. Sure wish him the best. I haven't been able to stay in touch with him. Huh. So you thinking about we're going to talk to some older wrestlers, older guys?
Nailed that free throw. No, I think it will be fun. I mean, that's not actually what we had scheduled for bonus content. Yeah, I think we talked about this before, but Victory Road 2011, that'll be our bonus show coming up in June. I've got one picked for us in July, which is where Flair went to date Jimmy Garvin by accident, which would be fun. But August, we were planning to do Hardcore Justice 2010, which was TNA's ECW reunion show. It was an absolutely awful show. I'd still like to do that, but we had circled the September bonus show as Lois Schiavone making her podcast debut.
My God.
Where I just interview Lois for a half hour or an hour or so.
It's running out of shit to do. Look at this. Look at the lady in the pigtail. She going down to court. She was fouled. They didn't even call it. The fuck,
dude. She was like on a rail. She beat everybody down there.
She got shoved from behind. No blood, no fouls, what they say in the police athletic league. Here she goes again. She go outrunning everybody.
She's the secret weapon, dude. Are we sure that's her and not Miss Jackie?
I don't know. Jackie, I think you could tell was her. You know what I'm saying? You would have really been bouncing down the court.
I got to tell you, Sting and Lex Luger are rebounding machines.
They played the whole fucking game.
I don't know that I'd let them shoot anything, but let them just hang out in the paint. Hey, y'all get the ball and kick it back out to somebody. Not Dusty though.
Yeah. You know what I'm thinking here? I'm thinking they're just throwing up different scores.
You don't think this is the real score?
I don't think it's the real score.
Because we haven't seen anybody make any baskets.
The Police Athletic League right now up by 1.
Does Dusty play defense?
What you fucking play defense? He ain't even run down the court. He's standing under the other bat. He's cherry picking. See, look at that. Those at me too. There I am. Here I am. Oh, motherfucker. Cherry picking motherfucker. Just stand down there and
I guess hard foul. My gosh.
Shit.
That guy wanted an NWA title shot against Barry Windham.
Oh.
My goodness. Lyle Alzado was our referee there.
Oh man, let's see a replay of that hard fucking foul.
My goodness. I mean, he really went after Wyndham there.
Yes, he did. And look at Sting with his hands on top of his head. He's blowed up.
Hey, what color was Wyndham's Porsche? Was it white or red?
Oh God. I'm thinking it was red. I know Magnum's was red, the one he wrecked.
Oh, we got a commercial here. Track it.
Okay.
Eliminated all that. The Private Industry Council takes people who want to work and shows them how. Then these useful, affordable, dependable working people work for you. The Private Industry Council has brought something fresh and new to North Carolina. It's brought a living resource that works.
The Private Industry Council.
I love the line. Takes people that want to work. Shows them how.
Because some don't want to.
A lot don't want to, Conrad.
No, I'm just saying that was the implication from the ad.
Right.
Who doesn't want to work?
Oh my God. There's tons of people that don't want to work.
Like it.
You know, the old adage I always heard growing up, and I really believe it.
What?
Work hard, son, because most people don't.
Gotcha.
I believe that.
All right, then.
I believe that. Here's something else I know. That when I worked at WCW, and if it snowed in Atlanta, every time it snowed in Atlanta, of course, it was a catastrophe, right? But I remember we had a couple of snows in Atlanta, and the ones that still showed up at the office at the CNN Center were the ones you could depend on. Oh, can't go out. There's snow on the ground. You're looking for an excuse to stay the fucking home. Lois would say, "You're not going to drive down Atlanta, aren't you?" I said, "Yes, I'm going to." What? Remember that.
All right, here we go. Here's Too Tall Stitt.
Man, he choked at the line.
Too Tall Stitt, by the way, is about 5'5". Did you have any shirts like Barry Windham here where you would make the jersey into a midriff shirt? Was that a go-to for you, that you would have a tank top that you wanted to even cut a little shorter, let your belly meat hang out?
I had a midriff shirt at one time.
Really?
Yeah.
And did you wear it to the grocery store?
She said, I got him laid up in. Oh, yes.
Man.
How about that? That's clutch basket right there.
Dude, I feel like Dusty is, he's a fourth quarter player.
Oh. NWA should be up by a point. Show the score, guys. I get it. We're in the era of the score always being a bug in the top or the bottom. But holy shit. Everybody, Jimmy Crockett, give him 5. That's Shane Douglas?
Yes.
Wow. Dynamic dudes.
I assume this is all baby faces, right?
Yeah.
So this is before Barry turned and joined the Horsemen, because it's not like you could have Arn and Rick running around, which, while it would be fun to see that, they're heels.
Right. You're not going to break kayfabe for this unless you want an all heel basketball game, and then they would have to smile and have a good time. Now, of course, I said I was there that day and you haven't seen me. I get it.
We know where you are. We've already addressed it. You're in the back trying to sniff.
I'm sitting on the bench and I just didn't want to get up because I knew that if I got up, I'd burn it. I'd be the difference maker. Look at this, coast to coast. And he got fouled. All the game's over.
That's it, baby. Dusty with that game-winning shot.
How about that, man? Of course, it's all. That's right. I booked it that way.
55-54. The NWA's victorious. It's not a Dusty finish. It's gonna stick. All for charity. It was a fun little thing, you know. I mean, if I didn't have any, you got to remember, 88. What the fuck was there to do? It's not like there was, you know, you didn't have Netflix, you didn't have Hulu, you didn't have YouTube. You had a little bit of Nintendo and Atari, I guess, but if I'm looking for something to do, I'd have went to this. Have a little laugh. Look at that Dusty Rhodes jacket.
Wow.
This was good stuff, man.
This was good stuff, man. I'm glad whomever found it. Oh, here's your producers. This was,
this will be anybody you know, will it?
No, I don't think so. This was like, local access TV, right? I don't think, and I did some I did some high school basketball for one of these stations.
No, see, look, none of the camera operators were Jackie Crockett.
I thought for sure that was Jackie there.
Well, what do you think, Tony? This was this a fun idea for us to cover as a bonus show, or not so much?
No, I think so. It was fun for me because I see a hometown cable television presentation. It was fun for me because and I think it's fun for the fans because you kind of get to see the wrestlers, out of their elements. And, back in the day, to me, this was a big fucking deal.
From the archives of What Happened When, Tony Schiavone talks about the story or the perception that Kevin Nash killed Goldberg's push in WCW. Let's hear what Tony has to say about it.
Here's something that will really get us going in the September 21st edition of The Observer. The latest rumors, and again, any plans in wrestling more than 48 hours from now are subject to change, and long-term plans are almost definitely not going to happen like that. But anyway, the title is scheduled to go from Goldberg to Hogan to Nash, or from Goldberg to Nash if they can cut Hogan out of the equation. Although that may all be to keep Nash happy, because a happy Nash supplies a lot of good ideas. Was this the common thinking in the back at the time, that you need to pacify Nash?
I think Nash garnered a lot of respect because he did have a lot of good ideas. I think they tried to pacify a lot of people,
right? And
not only Nash. So I don't think it would be unfair to single out Nash to try to pacify him. I mean, they tried to pacify Hogan. They try to keep Scott Hall happy. They try to obviously keep Goldberg happy, keep DDP happy. That's not easy to do. It's not easy to do, Conrad, when you're doing so much TV and you don't want to have a screw job finish to where no one gets hurt, theoretically, no one does a job, because all of a sudden your combinations are going together and the fans have seen everything. Someone's got to do a job. Someone's got to go down for the 3 count or whatever. And it's hard to pick someone to do that. So I think this not trying to keep Nash happy, they try to keep a lot of people happy within the framework of what they have, which was a lot of TV shows.
Let's talk about World War III and Nash winning. This is happening at a time when there's a lot of clicks backstage, and Hogan has Eric's ear, but so does Nash. And supposedly Hogan and Bischoff have a falling out when Bischoff decides to go with Nash as booker. And he books himself to win the Battle Royal and face Goldberg at Starrcade. And now let's remember, as we talked about earlier, when Hogan agreed to put over Goldberg in July, the idea was Hogan would get a return match and be the first to beat him. But supposedly Bischoff makes this decision to move to Nash because Raw has just beaten Nitro handily a few weeks in a row, and Hogan was in the featured spot on those shows that lost. So Eric goes with his gut, thinks it's time for a change, and instead Hogan announces he's retiring on the Tonight Show. Tony, Nash becoming booker, were you for it or against it? I know you mentioned he had a lot of good ideas, but did you think in the end it was the right call?
Well, at that time, sure. You've got to change. You've got to have somebody come up with fresh ideas and do things differently. If nothing else, because we were turning out so much television and so many pay-per-views, things got stale in a hurry, so you had to turn with somebody else. I would have been in favor of anybody being in charge of booking at that time.
So let's recap Goldberg's pay-per-view run as champ here. He wins the belt on July 6th. That weekend, his match is changed on pay-per-view. It's no longer a tag match. Now he's facing Kurt in a title defense. He loses, he wins the match. Kurt loses. We go to August. We throw Goldberg in a giant battle royal with the NWO. He wins. We go to September. He's not on the show. We go to October, his pay-per-view match main event starts, and the fucking thing goes off the air. Yeah. Now we're in November for World War III. You want to guess what he had going on there?
Oh, go ahead.
No match. No match at all in November. Instead, they do a contract signing on Nitro for Nash and Goldberg and say that Goldberg won't defend the belt before he faces Nash at Starrcade. Bigelow continues his feud, constantly trying to attack Goldberg out of the ring, in the ring, backstage, outside, whatever. And it's worth mentioning that the shows here are maybe suffering creatively, which is what we're kind of having fun with, but somehow WCW is still setting records. On the 30th of November, they draw the 3rd largest crowd and the all-time record for pro wrestling in the state of Texas, which turns out to be more than 31,000 fans paying more than $755,000 and another $257,000 in merchandise. Tony, when you see numbers like this, despite all the bullshit we've talked about, Bischoff had to be feeling invincible at this point. Am I right?
Yeah, he had to be feeling that the sky was the limit for this company because the numbers were proving that. But I think the disconnect or the problems that we had backstage with communication and everything was starting to move us downhill.
By mid-December, Dave wrote, "Everyone is noticing how rapidly Goldberg is cooling off. A few months back, his merchandise was huge, and now it's actually been nicknamed Coldberg." Can you remember a point where Goldberg's merchandise started to really cool off?
I can't remember the actual merchandise, but I can tell you that the reason was not Goldberg's fault. It's just the way we handled him or failed to handle him.
Yeah, I mean, we just ran through the pay-per-views, and that's hard to argue. I mean,
sure.
So the middle of December, they're running house shows in Tulsa, which is Goldberg's hometown, and he's working with the Giant, who's on his way out. Bill accidentally knocks himself silly on a turnbuckle and is legitimately hurt. He goes to the finish, but the matches for the rest of the house show loop just aren't the same. He's probably concussed, and if you've watched Monday Night Raw recently, you probably saw that. So we're finally here. We're 15 months in. We've got an undefeated streak of 173-0, a U.S. title reign, and nearly 6 months as world champ. It's time. Lots of folks debate this even today, but it's worth mentioning Starrcade 98 drew 16,066 fans, drawing $584,236 and another $114,000 in merchandise. It's the largest gate for a WCW pay-per-view event in history and the fourth largest ever for the company. And I'm sure we'll talk about Bischoff beating Ric Flair at Starrcade another time. But let's focus on Goldberg for now. It may have made sense for Bigelow to be the one to interfere, considering that's what they'd been building to for weeks, or perhaps even Chris Jericho, considering that's what they'd been building to for months. But none of that happened. Instead, it was the Booker's buddy, Scott Hall, who used a taser gun on Goldberg, allowing Nash to hit Goldberg with a jackknife power bomb and pin Goldberg for the very first time after about 11 minutes. And folks today are still critical of this, but if you watch the tape back, the live crowd exploded. The live reports from the show, though, say that after the show went off the air, all of this turned to booze. Mm-hmm. Tony, you were there. What really happened? Was this a success as far as the live crowd, or did they turn on it once it went off the air?
I'm not so sure they turned on once they went off the air. And I think the use of Scott Hall, now we can say the Booker's buddy, Scott Hall, but they were kind of tied at the hip as
the outsiders.
The outsiders, Hall and Nash, Razor Ramon and Diesel. So I don't see that being a problem with him coming in with a taser. And the only way to beat this guy was to use something like that.
Right.
And again, the live crowd exploded after the show went off the air. This turned to booze. Now, are they booing the heels, or are they booing the angle of him losing? See, that's the kind of thing there I'm not so sure of.
Well, let me ask you this. Whose idea was it to beat Goldberg? Was this Kevin Nash's?
Yes, I don't know.
Do you remember who pitched the cattle prod?
No, I do not.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the decision here, because Nash has been criticized for this, and he's often said he wasn't booking at the time, but he was, right?
From what I remember, he was.
And he also says, and maybe this is accurate, if I was trying to put myself over, why would I lose the belt a week later with the finger poke of doom? Nash contends that this would allow Goldberg to look strong again, chasing for the title, which had been the formula that worked so well when the NWO was at its hottest with Sting. And since he had cooled off and this Goldberg stuff had happened and you were piping in chants, and maybe he didn't need to be the champ, maybe he needed to be the guy chasing. Do you agree with that decision? I mean, in fairness, an undefeated streak isn't really the way wrestling works long time. I mean, how do you book your way out of that if it doesn't ever end? The guy just retires undefeated? It's unrealistic.
Right. Well, to me, the old adage and the thing that always worked in wrestling was the babyface chasing the heel, and the heel cheating and lying at every turn, and it was the chase that got him back. And I don't think Goldberg needed to win every match. And in hindsight, this might have been a good decision to have him be the chaser.
No, I can't say that it was the wrong decision to get the belt off of him.
From AdFreeShows.com. Ask Tony anything.
Jared Wetzel wants to know, what is Tony's go-to pastry from Starbucks?
A chocolate croissant unheated.
Rajiv wants to know, Tony, did you play baseball yourself? And if so, what position did you play? And why is it catcher?
Rajiv, it's good talking to you as always, my good friend. I played first base for the Buffalo Gap Bison varsity baseball team, but I was a better first base coach and a better guy to keep the book, to keep stats. I was better at that than I was playing in the field. And therefore, out of all the guys who played on my varsity baseball team at Buffalo Gap High School, I was the only one to make it into pro ball. How about fucking that?
I feel like I should mention, you've been stuck on first base for about 25 years now, have you not?
All my life, Conrad, stuck on first base, you miserable fucker. Am I allowed to cuss on here like we do on What Happened When?
Let her rip, Tater Chip.
Okay, all right.
Rajiv wants to know, on a recent pod, Tony said he would buy the Christian Bale Batmobile. I thought he would have wanted Michael Keaton's. Is Christian Bale's Batmobile Tony's favorite Batmobile or just the one he would buy?
Well, that's a good question. I really like Michael Keaton's Batmobile because that kind of started the Batman movies.
It
and it was really
the whole
cool.
brand, man. It just breathed new life into it. It was a game changer for me. I was not a Batman fan before. 1989 comes around. I'm fucking all in, son.
But the reason I like the Christian Bale one is it's a tank and it runs over shit and it breaks through barriers and it's military grade shit, man. Wouldn't that be wonderful to drive around?
Let me try to change your thinking on this. Throw in your Google machine, Michael Keaton's Batmobile, and then click images.
Okay.
I just want you to take a peek-see.
Okay. Okay. Look, you know what? I get all this images stuff. I understand. Okay. Let me go. Michael. How you spell Michael?
Michael. You got it.
Keaton. No, what the fuck? Michael Keaton's Batmobile.
There you go.
How you spell bat? I'm sorry.
B-A-T.
Okay. All right. Listen. Hey. Okay. I see it. And I see images.
Look at the front of that thing. What's it look like it's got attached to the front?
It looks like it's got a dick.
How could you not want to drive that?
Okay.
I feel like that is the Tony Schiavone mobile. It's got a little low-key big hog on the front. It's got a little button on a fur coat on the front.
Yeah.
Literally hanging off the motherfucker.
Okay. That looks cool to be driving down the street. But see, I want the Batmobile that Christian Bale had, because when one of these fucking rednecks in a pickup truck in a 4x4 sitting up in those big tires tries to run me off the road, then I just put it in fifth gear and just run right over top his ass.
Just so I'm clear, did you or did you not just buy a new SUV?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Just thought I'd ask. Matt Norris wants to know, Tony, who would you put on your Mount Rushmore of wrestlers with low-key big hogs?
Well, Matt, I don't know. I've never checked out all the penises that I've known.
But you know of some legendary ones. Colonel Robert Parker certainly makes the list, right?
Right. Ric Flair obviously makes the list.
Where would Lord Alfred Hayes wind up?
Well, I never saw it, but I understand it was rather large. So we'll put him on there.
What about Robert Gibson?
Yes. Gibson.
Well, there's only 4. So do we need to bump some more off, or where are you at on Too Cold Scorpio?
I don't know about Too Cold Scorpio.
Batista recently referred to his as a hammer.
Well, then let's put Batista on there because that's what everybody wants to know.
Okay. So you got Batista and you got Colonel Robert Parker. Who else did you have?
Flair, and Lord Alfred Hayes, Robert Gibson.
Well, that's 5. You can only have 4. Somebody's got to go.
1, 2. Okay. We got to get rid of Batista then. Cause I never worked with him.
James Black wants to know, who is in your Mount Rushmore of ECW wrestlers? This has become a fun topic because there's been some drawings pop up that had different guys from ECW carved into the Mount Rushmore. And there was a debate because inevitably you have to leave some folks off. There's only 4. So you, as a relative ECW novice, who would you put on your Mount Rushmore for ECW?
Okay. I would put Taz.
Sure.
Mike Awesome.
Okay. Didn't see that one coming.
Okay. RVD.
All right. Nobody's arguing that one.
Okay. And only because I fucking loved his promos, I'm going to put Bubba Ray.
I think a lot of people would throw the Dudleys on there together. My problem with that is it really only leaves you with 2. So I think I could put Bubba on there. I think nobody would really argue Taz. But it feels like to me, the spirit of ECW on some level was Sabu and Sandman, because you had these crazy acrobatics and hardcore wrestling, but you also had a guy who came to people and came to the ring, smoking a cigarette, drinking a beer. Like that was ECW. And I think you could even make an argument for New Jack, as crazy as he was. And of course we'd be remiss if we didn't mention Tommy Dreamer. So there's so many good ones, but let's keep going. Gregory Davis wants to know, why won't you just look for Conrad's 6-man belt? You're not doing anything right now.
How do you know I'm not doing anything right now? I'm a busy man. I've got a lot of shit going on. I'm learning shit. Okay. I've got a PS4 I'm playing. I got editing shit going on.
I got a PS4 I'm playing. Listen, Mike Kolb wants to know, who is one person Tony wishes he could have called a match of winning the big gold belt. So I think the idea is not necessarily, whose match, when they won the big gold belt and you weren't there. I don't think that's what he means. I think he means, was there a WCW wrestler who you would have liked to have seen become champion?
Yeah, Eddie Guerrero.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
That'd have been something.
It would have been.
Okay, this is a baseball related question.
Okay.
Which baseball player would Tony have liked to see make a move into pro wrestling? Why is it John Rocker?
I don't know if John Rocker would have been a good pro wrestler or not. I know maybe Jose Canseco.
Sure.
That'd have been a good one. Sammy Sosa before he bleached his skin. Maybe after he bleached his skin.
Just because it would have been interesting.
Yeah. But just the steroid era.
Well, and during his transformation and even now, I mean, he looks like a gimmick.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly right. Got to look like the gimmick.
I recognize Lois is not a fan of professional wrestling, but how often, if ever, did Lois accompany Tony to a show? Did she have any fun or interesting experiences if or when she did?
I can only remember one time she came with me to a show, and that was back in the Nitro era when we had Nitro at the TD Waterhouse Arena or the old Boston Garden. I mean, the new Boston Garden. And that was the time that we all ran out to the parking lot, as we always do, trying to beat the crowd out. And it was me and Lois, Mike Tenay and his wife, Karen, Bobby Heenan, and Lee Marshall. And we couldn't find the car. And Tenay was driving, and I was sitting in the back with Lee Marshall and Lois sitting on my lap, and Karen was in the back, and Heenan was in the shotgun. And the fans came just swarming the car and Heenan beating on the car and shaking the car. And we were trying to ease our way out, the fans. And Heenan was just going nuts. He was like over. And I remember Lois says, is he always this scared of fans? I said, I guess it comes from being the heel announcer all those years. It does. That was the only time I remember her going with me to see see wrestling. We also went to see the Red Sox during a game that weekend as well. But I think one time she went to a wrestling match. Don't know if she had fun or not. She says she doesn't want to go to another one. I've invited her to go to AEW, some events. She does not want to go. So there.
But you know what? She did come to your birthday party.
Yeah, boy, did she ever. What a moment in time that was.
Michael Malaro writes, did you ever get to see Kiss during their farewell tour? And how do you feel about the current lineup? I always loved Kiss, but I always prefer Peter and Ace.
Yeah, I saw the farewell tour in '96, which was the one with Peter Criss and Ace Frehley. And then of course they've done many farewell tours since then, but that's the farewell tour that I saw. And that was the last time I saw them. And of course they went on to work with us in WCW afterwards, a few years after that. So yeah, I did see them, and I'm very, very thrilled that I was able to introduce them at the MGM Grand Garden Arena during one of our shows, and was able to, talk to them, spend some time with Gene Simmons. And I think I saw them. That was the only farewell tour I saw, but I think I saw them like 4 times, mostly during the 70s. I saw them.
What were the 70s like? Just a lot of like pubic hair and drugs?
No, it was, well, of course I was a young kid, right? So it was a lot of this. It was a lot of playing outside. It was a lot of following your team in the newspaper. It was a lot of Saturday. If you wanted to see your baseball team play and they happened to be playing on the Saturday game of the week, that was a treat for you, because you didn't see every game and every highlight and every camera up every pitcher's nose. And if you lived in Alabama, you were probably Atlanta Falcons fan, because that's probably what was on TV. I lived in Virginia, so I became a Redskins fan because that was on TV. It was boy, I sound like an old fucker here, and I guess I am, right?
Yeah.
It was a simpler time, and I played a lot of board games. And we snuck a lot of Boone's Farm wine. And I lived in a very small town, so very, very small town. So It was a great time, though. Great time. Wonderful time. No coronavirus. No kids getting kidnapped.
A lot of cream pies.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying, like, you were probably wearing out desserts as a little kid. Were you know it?
Oh, yeah. Moon pies. Yeah, absolutely.
Philip Jackson wants to know, what 3 wrestlers would you choose to fill out a Survivor Series team? And what would you name the team?
My God. We're talking about current day or any time or
past or present, motherfucker.
Past or present, motherfucker. Okay. It would be Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, and,
Don't forget who you're supposed to slurp the most.
All right, Cody Rhodes.
Eros writes what would you call yourself?
Okay. The Breadwinners.
Eros, which is probably a website of yours, writes, in the vein of the issue of Superman versus Muhammad Ali, if Tony booked a match between any wrestler and a comic book character, what would the match and finish be?
Oh boy, there's some well thought out questions, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay. I would book the Incredible Hulk against Batista, and Batista would get out his hammer and hit Hulk between the eyes, stun him enough to pin him.
Alrighty. Follow-up question here. What is something that doesn't exist in today's wrestling product that Tony wishes was there today?
Wow.
Can I answer?
Yeah.
More female valets. That's what you miss.
That would probably be it. Nitro Girls. Francine.
Why don't you get Francine a job at AEW? She could like come out with, Joey Janela.
I don't know.
She got like a Jersey accent. It could work.
Well, we were in Philadelphia that one time, and we were going to go back before the virus hit, and
you invited her and she said no, right?
Yeah, she said she couldn't make it. So but I got to meet her at Starcast.
So you got rejected.
Yeah, well, which is nothing new.
You ought to try splashing a little confidence on yourself every now and again.
No, I would like to splash confidence on me, but every time I splash confidence on me, it's batted away by reality.
Carter wants to know, after reading JR's books, when is the Tony Schiavone story coming to print?
Okay. You know what? We're kind of working on that right now.
Yes, we are.
So when it's going to come to print, I don't know. I know that it takes a lot of work,
but it's in the works.
It is in the works. Yes.
Best minor league ballpark you've ever been to?
That's a good one. My favorite minor league ballpark always will be McCoy Field in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, because of the history and because of all the different memorabilia they have on the walls and all the different history you can walk through. And that's all my favorite. But the best minor league park that I've ever been to is Victory Field in Indianapolis, Indiana. The best minor league park it is close to being a major league park, and they always put every game that we've ever done, they put like 10, 11, 12,000 people in there. So it's great.
That's awesome.
Best one.
Outside of the SEC and bowl games / playoffs, best college football environment you've experienced and or would like to?
Boy, that's outside the SEC. Well, it was going to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
About 3 years ago. That was a great experience. And what made that so great was for some reason, the Georgia fans got plenty of tickets, and they didn't have as many as the Notre Dame fans, but they had plenty. I would love to go to Ohio State to see a game there. I would love to go to Oklahoma to see a game in Norman, and I believe that the Dogs are going to be doing that in a couple of years from now. Of course we're not all
and go hang out with JR.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go stay at his house during that time. We've already worked it out.
Well, I'm going too.
Right.
Count me in. I just need to see what sort of co-ed situation JR's worked up, because it's got to be roll tide.
Yeah, boy.
Chris White wants to know, Tony, what has it been like working with La Champion? It has been a highlight of every AEW show this set of tapings.
Well, thank you for that. It has been a treat. It was kind of like thrown together at the last moment, and he decided to come in and do these tapings with us, and it was. I think he's given me the rub. I think Chris Jericho has revitalized my career. Just sitting next to him, and I feel very fortunate because I feel that I was there when Chris Jericho's career really started, and now I'm here when his career is continuing for the best. And Chris Jericho, for those who have a chance to work with him, know that he thinks and puts more effort and thought into his character. And he's been a great leader for the company. So this has been wonderful. Now, I also want to say that even though we've worked together greatly, I look forward to working again with JR and Excalibur and Taz. And I need to throw Taz's name in there because if I don't, then one of his friends will tell him they listen to this podcast and I didn't mention Taz's name, and he'll call me and say, "Bro, what about me? Am I chopped liver?" And I would go, "Yeah."
Heat, brother?
And then
I just need to know, when did I fuck with you? You don't open your mouth about me, Schiavone. You hear?
Yeah.
You put some goddamn respect on my name, Tone.
It's No Cell Jones.
Yes. Brian wants to know, Tony, why doesn't Conrad like or comic book superheroes? They wear tights, some wear masks. It's continuous good versus evil, episodic melodrama spanning decades. Some of them can shoot lightning out of their hands. It's something you originally get into when you're a little kid. How is this any different than wrestling?
Well, because it's on paper and they never, hell, I can't answer that. They don't travel and do house shows. And, I can't explain why someone like Conrad likes pro wrestling and doesn't like comic book characters. Cause to me, they're all heroes and they're good, bad guys. And that's what you got in wrestling. And you strip away comic books and you strip away Star Wars, Star Trek, and you strip away pro wrestling. It's still good versus evil at the key, at the core. And I can't explain why Conrad doesn't like it. Maybe he had a bad comic book experience when he was a youngin'.
The WMD himself writes, since it's topical, any good Dennis Rodman stories you can remember?
Any good Dennis Rodman stories I can remember?
Yeah.
No, I can only tell you the one that Eric told everybody, and he's probably told it on the podcast, and I'll let him do it. It's about him knocking on Rodman's door and trying to get him up to do a interview. So I had zero interaction with Dennis Rodman. We never said hello. He would come, he would hang out with Hogan. We would not see him in the back. We never went to catering. The only time I saw Dennis Rodman is when Dennis Rodman walked out to do his match, and then he left and I would go back and he would be gone. So I never saw him, never had any interaction with him at all. As a matter of fact, we were, and you were there, Conrad, we were at the Ric Flair 70th birthday party last year. Rodman was there and I didn't say anything to him. I don't know if you did or not.
From AdFreeShows.com, Tony and Conrad cover and talk about an Invasion era Raw from April 16th, 2001.
I got a call from Stanford the other day that said, boy, your little butt buddy, that fuck, Tony Schiavone.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what all those people in Stanford can do with the exception of Bruce.
Well, it was Bruce.
Well,
no,
there you go.
It really wasn't. I was just kidding.
All right. So Spike is going to bring out Molly Holly. Molly Holly.
Hey, don't even act like Molly Holly wouldn't be like the best wife in the history of wrestlers.
Man.
Like of all the wives you could have of ladies that were in wrestling, Molly Holly's got to be number one. All those stupid little F, marry, kill games that we play. I want to marry Molly Holly.
Oh, man. She just, she was a good person. Yes. I'm sure still is. And very, very much underrated.
So good, dude.
Yeah. How you doing, Spike? Good to see you. How you doing, Molly? Good to see you. You notice my one crutch here? Now I can really be a tripod.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I got the greatest smile in all of wrestling. And I haven't taken a shower since 2000. Oh boy, I bet Paul Heyman's coming out, isn't he? Okay. Is anybody gonna fuck up something more than Paul Heyman? I don't know. Is he? Yeah. Oh boy. So this is how they start Raw, huh?
This is how they start Raw.
What's Molly Holly doing now?
You know, I'm not sure. I think that she's training wrestlers.
Really?
I think she's got a school. She lives in Minnesota, I think.
Yeah.
She married a guy from there. I think she's up there.
Oh, she will give him a smooch on the keys.
I think she's with Ken Anderson and Sean Davari.
Huh?
Spike Dudley, by the way, one of the great good guys in wrestling. Very well educated, nice guy. His real name's Matt Heisen, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he does something in finance. Let me look that up right fast. Oh yeah. He works at, as a financial transition specialist. It says Merrill Edge, but it's Merrill Lynch.
Ah. Well, here's a waistline transitionalist right here.
Why do you hate Paul Heyman so much?
I don't hate Paul at all, man. Do I look like AJ Styles to you?
Oh, you're just piling on him.
Mm-hmm. Hey, what we got over here? Hang on a second. What? Come over here. Yeah. All right. Hey, you can trust me. As you know, everybody says you can trust me. I won't lie to you.
Everybody says, listen to you.
I won't swerve you. Sit down. I'm not a swerver. Listen, there you go, Molly. Sit down. That's right. I just been in the back. Well, she sat down like I asked her to. I just been in the back talking to my buddy AJ, and I've been talking to the Good Brothers too. They all like me. No problem. A bunch of bullshit started by Dave Meltzer. Everybody likes me. That's why I'm still the advocate for Brock Lesnar. That's right. I'm still his advocate. Now, I don't have anything to do with Raw, the TV show, anymore. Okay? And I ran Jerry Lawler off, and then I ran AJ Styles off, and then I lied to the Good Brothers, but they all like me, okay? Because I'm a good guy. I'm an honest guy. Do you know that in about 19 years or so, my head is going to be the size of a jack-o'-lantern? That's right. And it's going to be probably the color of Taz's shirt. All right? That's Taz with one Z, not two. You sit there, girl. I'm talking. All right, so here's the deal. I want to let you know, you can trust me. I won't swerve you, won't backstab you. Right? You like it, man? Right? Well, first of all, here's the deal. I'm smart in the financial world as a shoot, and you have ruined a lot of people financially as a shoot. So here, do you still have the money you conned all the people out in ECW? Do you? No, I don't think you do. She doesn't either. Wait, hold on a second. Were you in ECW? I can't remember. You were. We used to have Mike Awesome throw you through a fucking table repeatedly for like, well, I don't know, $100 payoff. But you like doing it. $100 payoff? What the fuck? Not $100. Yeah. Okay. So I got thrown through a table for $100 payoff. How about that? How much you pay me for doing that? Huh? Well, listen, you hit a little bit harder than AJ Styles does, is what I've been told. Wide shot. And now we go back to them face to face. Yeah. I hit hard. Yeah. Motherfucker. Come on. Come on. I bet. Oh, camera, pan left. Pan left. Pan left. Here come the Dudleys. Whew. Glad they got me out of that.
How about Bubba Ray and Devon here? Bubba Ray now, I don't think he's with a wrestling company right now, but he is with Busted Open on Sirius XM. And Devon Dudley is now a backstage producer for WWE. And of course, Paul Heyman is the television character waiting for television to go perform at. Who would have thought that Spike Dudley would have his Spike Dudley? You know where I'm going. I'm just going to be quiet.
No, don't be quiet. This is Patreon. This is Patreon only, man.
Spike
for
Dudley works for Merrill Lynch. How does he have his shit together more than everybody else in the ring? Like I wouldn't have called that. This fucking guy at this point, he's had so many concussions. There's probably a comma in it. And this motherfucker, he's got it figured out. Meanwhile, Bubba's trying to make LaGreca get the heat on LaGreca, which isn't hard.
Yeah.
Devon Dudley, can you imagine what it must be like working as a producer in WWE? That's got to be, tough.
Answering the Bruce Pritchard. Wow.
And then having to be on the roller coaster of Vince McMahon for so long with Paul Heyman. Well, I guess Molly Holly did okay. I mean, getting to do some wrestling school stuff. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like Molly Holly is one of like the great people in the history of wrestling who she was probably too good for the business.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. The thing is really that Spike walked away from the business and was able to do something different. And they're beating old poor Spike up here.
Heyman, what's he trying to do right here?
And he's trying to flag down a 747. Park to the left, park to the right.
Heyman has clearly never played basketball before. That's his version of Gardner guy.
Yeah, that's what it is.
You know what I just noticed that I never really paid attention to before? Bubba Ray Dudley, when he punches, he does it like Bret Hart, both feet, same time.
Oh, he sold that. He sold that lame chair shot. Okay.
Oh, don't hit her. Thank you.
Oh my God. Don't.
Put her down. Putting her down.
Okay.
She's a nice person.
Oh Lordy.
Put her down. Don't you dare do this. Don't do this.
The story here, I guess, is that they loved each other.
Yes. Spike was the boyfriend to Molly Holly.
Oh, okay.
And Bubba puts bitches through tables.
Oh my God.
So here we go. He's going to try to put this really nice lady who we all know and love through a guy. And he did.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
She took it like a champ though. And in fairness, Bubba took care of him. He took it all up his asshole.
Yeah. Which I do understand is what you got to do.
Yeah. I mean, it's like we famously played here on the show once. Brian Knobs explained the reason his asshole was so big is because, quote, that's what happens when you win the belts. And as has been well established, nobody won the belts more than Bubba Ray Dudley. So many belts.
Exactly. Well, now the referees are out trying to clean up the carnage here. Well, here comes Tony Gurria as part of the medical team. Let's take a look at that once again there. Michael Cole. Got it up, got his face right where it should be, and then took it in the ass. There you go. Can't beat that. Meanwhile, this little motherfucker looked from the sideline. Tied him up to the tree of woe. ECW has made a statement. Molly Holly is out. Let's just turn her over with this neck brace on. There you go. And we go to break.
It's Kurt Angle. Track it.
Sir, I'm ready to be your leader. That ain't gonna work. Here we go. Mr. McMahon, I humbly accept your offer as leader for Team WWF. Now, I'm going for the gold again. For leadership.
Kurt.
Oh, Mr. McMahon.
What are you doing in my office?
I'm waiting for you.
Waiting for me for what? Where's Stone Cold?
Not only is Stone Cold not here, but he's at some local bar drinking. Drinking, mind you.
He's here in Rhode Island.
Yeah, he's in Rhode Island, but hey, don't you worry about that, because I'm here to lead Team WWF into Invasion.
Thank you very much. What's the name of the bar?
I don't know, some bar called the Friendly Lap or something. I don't know. So what? I mean, I don't know what he's doing. He should be here.
The Friendly Tap. That's the name of it.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'll be back in a few minutes. I gotta go find Stone Cold, okay?
I need them to run an angle like that in Huntsville, Alabama. God damn it. Where's that Roman Reigns? I don't know. He's refinancing over at Save with Conrad. I don't know. He's on the website, savewithconrad.com. God damn it. Do they even do loans for Samoans? Are they licensed in Samoa? That can't be true. I don't know. I don't even, what's Conrad saving him from? COVID-19? Is that why he's not here?
I fucking love it.
Hypothetically,
What
if Chris Jericho said, can't come to TV this week, worried about the COVID?
That would put a crimp in us.
And what if he didn't come in March, April, May, June, or July?
Yeah, that would have been that'd have been tough.
That would have been what I would call less than ideal.
Boy.
All right, real question.
All right.
You're going to get in a fight with Farouk one time for 5 minutes.
Yep.
Or you're going to get in 10 5-minute fights with Chuck Palumbo.
Yeah.
What are you picking?
I'm picking Chuck Palumbo. Because damn.
Damn indeed.
Hey, I was interested in the when I saw Kurt Angle there in the story that Meltzer had posted on his newsletter this past week about Carlton Hasselrig. Did you read that?
Nope. Missed it.
All right. Okay. It's one of the greatest collegiate wrestlers of all time and never wanted to go pro. He just passed away recently, had some problems, but I mean, Kurt Angle thought he was like the greatest ever and probably would have been a great pro wrestler, and just seemingly a guy that talented in the amateur game had nothing, didn't want to do it. Played a little football. That was about it. Didn't know if you read that part or not. Then when I saw Angle just now, that reminded me of that. But let's see. Chuck's up top, and damn, he was falling down before he got hit.
Let me just tell you, I'm going to finish the newsletter. I just haven't gotten there yet.
Okay. All right. You'll read about it.
You know, I had a host of folks over this past weekend for Summer Scam 2020.
How was that?
Oh, it's tremendous, man. We had such a good time. You know, we're all practicing social distancing, but we were able to pull that off. And we didn't go out. We stayed in, ordered in, didn't go anywhere. It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
But we watched wrestling, hung out around the pool. It was a good time.
I really wish I could have come.
Well, I think that our gimmick attorney, Michael Dawkins, would have enjoyed that. Of course, Dave Silva was here, Cassie, your kid, Dave Hancock, who helps us with some of our social media efforts. Stupid ass Matt Coon was here.
Jesus.
Yeah, we hate him. Oh,
well,
a friend of the show, Shuley, was here.
Shuley was there. Okay.
Yeah. But of course, nothing happening. Corey Ryan Forster was not here.
Well, that's a good reason to be there already.
It was 90 minutes for him. It was too far of a drive, you know.
Oh, I know. I get it. Damn, he completely missed that fucking kick. I mean, that I hope they don't show that replay again. Ron knew he was going to go down, buddy. He wasn't going to take that fucking kick.
So, just in case you're not keeping up, those are the WCW tag team titles that Palumbo and O'Hare have. By the way, you couldn't have told me in this era that O'Hare wasn't going to be a big deal. And they did show a replay, but magically the ref was kind of in the way.
That's why they showed that one. Because you go back and look at it again. Is that JBL? Who the fuck is this on the left? Oh, wait a minute. Brooklyn Brawler?
That is the Brooklyn Brawler. Let's track it.
Should be the leader of this team. I don't get it, Bomber. It's Brawler, Kurt. Whatever. I mean, I'm an Olympic gold medalist. Hello? What more do you need? I mean, doesn't Vince think that I'm tough enough? Just because I'm not the Stone Cold of old. Well, I can be extreme. I drank milk a day after it expired. That's extreme.
I can't believe you have the audacity to claim that anything you've ever done even remotely resembles something extreme. Huh? You know, Kurt, seeing you in that ridiculous children's cowboy hat and strumming that guitar reminds me of all the reasons I left the WWF in the first place.
Well, believe me, you're not missed.
As the shadows of darkness fall upon the paths of despair, they leave a trail of nothingness in their wake, Kurt.
What the hell are you talking about?
I'm challenging you to a match, Kurt.
Oh, you're challenging me?
Oh, yeah.
I'll take you on in any match you want, buddy.
Fine. ECW rules then.
Fine. By the way, the ECW doesn't rule. The WWF rules, pal. How do you like that?
Are you going to sit here and act like Kurt Angle is not top 5 all time?
You're saying that just because of what we saw right there?
No, I'm just saying, when you really think about his in-ring work, motherfucker never had, how about this? Mike Awesome and Lance Storm. But you never had a bad match with that guy. Every match was tremendous.
Right.
But then he's got this character shit down pat, and he shouldn't have been that good at that. You know, you think about all the great amateur athletes you knew. How many of them could immediately transition into, I mean, let's call that what that was. That was acting.
Yeah.
Memorizing lines, maybe a little improv, but I mean, it's acting. And so you combine the in-ring component and then the promo / acting. It's tremendous. What do you think Lance Storm's saying here?
If I could have your attention for a moment, please. Of all the people the WWE let go, it shouldn't have been me. I can train wrestlers better than anybody else. You're telling me that Terry Taylor still has a job and I don't? What's wrong? Maybe I should have let Triple H stay in my house when he first started in the business. Then I would still have a job here in 2020. Yeah, that's right. I'm pointing to you, motherfucker, Terry Taylor. You still got a job and I don't. How stupid is that? And who's coming up? Oh, man, it's our men.
You want to talk about a bright spot in 01. Edge and Christian here. Of course, Edge is the 2001 King of the Ring, got the old Stanley Cup style trophy. That's great stuff. Let's track what Edge is going to say here. It's going to be funnier than whatever you could come up with.
You think so?
Yeah.
Holy Jurassic Park. I can't believe we've actually stumbled upon a living, breathing Rhedosaurus Rex.
Really, Christian? Which one? Hey, Lance, if you and your partner, Mike, totally not awesome, want to fight an invasion, then you got it. Oh, and by the way, if I can be serious for a minute, offbeat shenanigans rule.
So JR, it's 6 days in Invasion on pay-per-view. Edge and Christian to take on Lance Storm and Mike. Totally not awesome.
Mike, totally not awesome. How about Michael Cole burying him?
That's so funny. That was funny. That's funnier than anything we could have come up with.
All right, I was wrong. Fuck off.
Okay. Billy Silverman's your referee with the white shirt on. The hell? What the hell?
What are you fussing about? What are you?
Well, I'm just what's the white shirt about? I mean,
this is the invasion. All right, listen. You've got WCW invading WWE. WCW has teamed up with ECW.
Okay.
The WCW referees will wear a WCW referee shirt with a WCW logo on it.
Okay.
This is a WCW referee calling a match between a former WCW wrestler, Mike Awesome.
Oh, well, there you go. So it's Wrestling 101. Okay. And Wrestling 101 is don't have a bunch of confusion shit going on your TV set that people don't understand. No wonder it didn't work. Well, it didn't work because Vince didn't want it to work.
Yeah, he shitted on it.
Yeah, he wanted to bury WCW and ECW. That's what he wanted to do, and he did. Financially and on TV as well. And of course, the final salvo, the final blow, the final kick in the ass was firing our good friend Eric Bischoff when he knew he was going to fire him anyway when he hired him. Here's a cover. 1, 2. Got a 2 count. So I get it. Vendettas don't grow old. And that's my 2 cents. But I know I'm right. Because Mike is awesome. Look at this. Oh, fuck. Great job. What's Christian doing now? I know they don't do their podcast anymore.
No, because Edge is a WWE superstar.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
And they told him that if you want to be a superstar again, you can't do the podcast. Is that it?
Probably.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, we're on Patreon. No, their shit wouldn't make any money, so they packed it in.
Okay.
They were here on Westwood 1.
Right.
So They got kicked off so you could come on. That's the real story.
Yeah, well, that's good because they didn't have the golden rub that I had.
From Bruce Pritchard?
No, it's called Conrad Thompson.
You
Conrad
goddamn right. Yeah.
The Conrad Thompson Podcast Network.
I've already
On Mondays, Eric Bischoff. Tuesdays, it's going to be JR. Wednesdays, Tony Schiavone. Arn Anderson on Thursdays, and then Bruce didn't even know my own time slot. Bruce Pritchard on Fridays when he's available, which is once every quarter.
You got a 60%.
Okay.
JR's on Thursday. Arn's on Tuesday.
Oh, Arn's okay. I knew there was a T in there somewhere for both of them.
But you know what, though?
What?
I got an email today.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
From a big time name.
Yeah. Wants to do a podcast with you?
Yep.
We'll start doing one on Saturday, or are you going to boot my ass out since I'm the little man on the totem pole here?
Nah, I think Arn will fit right in Saturday, 6:05.
Ah, boy. So when are you and Paul Heyman going to start this one?
He's still working for WWE.
Mm.
But you can't act like a show with me and Paul wouldn't pop off.
Oh, yeah. It'll be good.
That would float everybody's boat.
And the good news is that the name of the podcast, The Truth and Nothing But the Truth. That should be the name of his podcast because we know the whole podcast will be You a Lie.
Oh, super kick from old Lancey on top of Edge. And Silverman's going to count. 1, 2, Lance helps Mike Awesome steal a win.
That's pretty cool. I didn't expect that at all.
How about Mike Awesome with the short hair?
Yeah, that's not the Mike Awesome we love.
I need a mullet.
Damn straight need a mullet. Okay, I know we got a bunch of interviews coming up here. Got to track this son of a bitch right now.
Heather and I are just so incredibly proud to have you as the WCW champion and the U.S. champion.
Thank you very much, Stephanie.
Well, you're welcome. I mean, you even look like a champion. You dress like a champion. You talk like a champion.
Looks good, doesn't it?
It does. It looks good. I even noticed you have a gold tooth.
Ding.
And this gold, I mean, oh.
Hello, Stephanie.
Hello, Jericho.
I just wanted to come by and congratulate you on acquiring ECW. I guess now we know what those letters finally stand for. Every customer welcome.
Yeah, every customer except you.
Well, I know you do consider yourself to be the queen of hardcore, but unfortunately, movies don't quite count.
Yo, back the hell up, man. Don't you see grown folks talking? You a real big man to talk to a lady like that.
That's right.
You know, right now I got the mind to take you out in the middle of that WWF ring and whooping your WWF ass. What you think about that?
Well, if you want to challenge Y2J, why don't you put that WCW championship on the line? What do you think about that?
You got it.
You want it?
Yeah, you got it.
All right. We'll see you out there.
Yeah.
ECW. ECW.
Should you want to do it for the goal?
Oh, yeah. You've got to put the titles on the line. And just like at Invasion, you're going to kick Chris Jericho and the WWF's ass.
Well, what do you think?
I think I'm going wild for corn nuts. Some bitch do a flipper in the ring. I love a goddamn corn nut. Hey, bro, sit the fuck down. Bro, what the fuck? I'll beat all of you motherfuckers out. I don't even have orange on. I'll choke out your mother. How you like my haircut, bro? Hey, do you put me on TV? Don't put that Schiavone on TV. See, I can do this announcing shit, bro. See it? Corn nut. Love a goddamn corn nut. Got a track Regal.
Oh,
Jesus.
God.
The WWF's not doing very well tonight. We're having our backsides handed to us. Now, I know you will teach that miserable, filthy specimen Taz a lesson in Invasion. But tonight on Raw, I'm going to teach him a lesson in respect.
頑張ってください、師匠。ところで師匠の死に際を見届けるためにもう一回解説をやらせてください。解説もう一回。いいですか？こういうのも用意してきたから。もう一回解説やらせてください。いいですか？スラムなんかスラムなんか。
You want to commentate?
もう一回だけ。
You want to commentate again?
最後を見届けるから。
My match against Taz tonight? Since you did such a wonderful job on SmackDown, yes, you can commentate. Yes.
頑張ろう。まずは身だしなみからですな。
I am so excited.
Tajiri is low key one of my absolute favorites. He steals every scene he's in. Him and Steve Regal are magic, are they not?
I knew we had to track that. When he squirted that shit in his mouth, I went, what did I hear? Oh, man. I popped big time on that one. All right. Right now we're watching Paulie trying to explain to the McMahon kids that he is going to take AJ Styles and choke his ass down. And they're explaining to him that AJ Styles is a big star. Okay. AJ Styles may now be in TNA as we speak, but oh shit, got to track this shit.
Hey, Deborah.
Oh, hi, Vince.
How you doing?
I'm real good, thanks.
Good to see you.
Thanks.
How's he doing?
Oh, I haven't seen him like this in a very long time.
Steve, how you doing? Good to see you, man. Listen, if I upset you last Thursday on SmackDown, maybe I put you on the spot, okay? Maybe I shouldn't have done that. But I can't press upon you how important that is to me, because the World Wrestling Federation needs Stone Cold, the old Stone Cold Steve Austin, to lead the WWF into Invasion this Sunday. I need you tonight. I really didn't mean to put you on the spot, but there's nothing wrong, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with the current Stone Cold WWF champion. It's just that I need that old Stone Cold back for Invasion. We've never been threatened like this ever, Steve. No one's ever threatened the WWF like this WCW, ECW combination. We've never had that kind of threat. Steve. Steve, I need your help. All right, I'm going to go back to the arena. I hope I see you there later tonight. Can you help me out on this?
I'll try.
You think that's how Vince talked to Bruce when he was trying to convince him to come back?
No. The Providence Civic Center, now known as the Dunkin' Donut Center.
Is it really?
Yeah. Dunkin' Donut Arena.
How do you know that?
Because I used to do games in Pawtucket. We stayed in Providence when I was with the Braves.
Sorry, I just had a drink that had ice in it. Megan made it, and I didn't know, and I got some in my mouth, and I crunched it and heard it in my headphones, and I'm sorry. I'm not trying to flare you here on Patreon.
You don't need to flare, because here comes our man.
Serious business. Do you think they put that much smoke on his entrance so you wouldn't see him? Was Vince trying to fucking rib him?
Probably could have. So he get pissed off. What's number 13 for here?
That's his number.
13's his number?
Orange 13. Orange and black 13. FTW.
Orange and black 13. FTW.
Yeah, he's also, instead of Austin 316, he's Taz 632. He's twice as pissed.
And it's brought to you by Corn Nuts.
Tell me the tagline. What's the tagline? Remember it?
No.
I love a goddamn corn.
Yeah. Corn. brought to you by Corn Nuts. I love a goddamn. I can't do it now. I love a goddamn corn. Do you love a corn nut? I love a goddamn corn nut.
You know, I saw something new they're doing on Skype now. We can record the shit.
We can?
Yeah, we've always been able to record it on Mac products, but you know, fuck a Mac.
That's what I use, man.
Well, I use a Windows machine. But now you can click the record button on there. I think Zoom got so much market share. Skype was like, we better get our shit together. We're about to be fucked over here.
Right. It's because Skype is owned by Microsoft. And that's why they just made it a Windows property all those years. Look at this, man. Taz took a bump there.
We gotta ask Taz about this.
This has been a look back at the best of what happened when with Tony Schiavone and Conrad Thompson, as well as a sneak peek at AdFreeShows.com.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.